Welcome to Sports and Stogies. Now, introducing your hosts, Cameron Winkowitz and Austin Hayes.
Pull up a chair, pour up a drink, and light that cigar. It's time for episode 81 of Sports and Stogies. Cam.
Welcome back, everybody. A day late, dollar short, unfortunately.
Actually, I was out no money.
Actually, very fortunately for you.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for me.
We had some nice experiences on the show this week that we'll get to here after a while. But first things first, it's not just the two of us.
No, it's not. Steven, say hi.
Hey, everybody.
I love how you waved.
Yeah.
There's no cameras in here yet, so.
There will be. So I'm practicing. I'm practicing.
There are no cameras that you know of.
Yeah, keep that part in the DL, dude. We're not recording here. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it.
We're recording.
Well, yeah, mics. Yeah, there's no video. Of course not. That'd be frowned upon. I think legally we have to tell you we're recording video also, so.
I thought that was only for, like, Twitch and all that.
But give us your sports background here, as far as your favorite sports teams, what you're into. A little introduction.
As far as what I'm into, I follow baseball pretty heavy. Big Reds fan. Football-wise, I know I like that Pete Rose jersey.
That's tight, right?
I got one myself. Actually, no, I lied. I got Johnny Bench one.
Yeah, that'd be a nice piece to have.
It's pretty nice. But football-wise, unfortunately, it's Pittsburgh. So, little division rivalry in this room right now.
That's why we like to give the fans that backdrop.
Are you cool being in the Browns corner right now?
I've been in.
It's all Hall of Famers.
I guess I can say I've been in worse corners, but I mean, it's all right. Nice and comfy over here.
It could be the Bengals.
It could be the Cowboys.
Ugh.
That's just sad. You definitely don't want to be over here. I know you're a big WWE guy.
Oh yeah.
So you got a lot of that talk planned today.
Oh yeah, big. It was a nice little 2 nights. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah.
Well, first things first, Cam, let's get our promo out of the way here, as always.
Why don't you try it for once?
I don't think I've ever actually done it.
You haven't.
After
But
81
you're very
episodes.
judgmental about when other people do it.
Well,
so
we just like to give Shane some crap.
let's hear it, big dog.
First things first, you can follow us at Sports and Stogies on X, Facebook, Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, of course, finally. You can find the show on any podcast. I don't use Instagram, so I always forget the gram. You can find the show on Amazon, Apple, Spotify. Now it's YouTube podcast. YouTube Music, just YouTube.
But yeah, I think it's YouTube Music. I don't know.
Pretty much anywhere you guys listen to your podcast at, we're there.
Or you can go to Simplecast.
Any direct link that'll be posted every week with the show. And send your questions into sportsandstogies@gmail.com.
How'd that feel?
You know what? When you're a professional, you just roll with it. Should we let Steven do the ad read?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
At least the information part. A good friend of the show, Evan Keaton.
Oh yeah, a certified personal trainer, Evan Keaton. Email is allthingsfitness15@gmail.com. Cell phone is 937-308-6324. And you can also find him at the website of allthingsfit.org.
Say, very well done. Of course, he can bring the gym to you. Also has group classes in both low, medium, and high intensity.
And still no videos on the website.
But one day, maybe we help him out with that.
We could.
And last things last, I guess, the Tip Top Smoke Emporium event on Saturday with Blackbird Cigars starts at noon to 5. You guys can get tickets at the door or get them online at tiptopsmoke.com.
If you pre-order online, you will be entered into a raffle for a Grackle box.
Yep, that'll be released in October. Stoked for those. I think it's $10 a ticket. But we'll be able to be out there bright and early. At least I will be. It'll be a long day for sure.
We will both be present at the event for at least 3 hours.
I know Sean Brown will be there. Of course, sharing the story of Southeastern Guide Dogs, which you guys do not want to miss. Should be great weather. Chairs and tents provided. Plenty of smokes. Greg's going to have a lot of great deals going on.
And correction, it is sharing the story of Dogs, Inc.
Did they change that now? Because I thought it was Southeastern Guide Dogs.
That's permanent. It's Dogs, Inc.
It's a new thing for me.
It is.
Either way, you guys know who Sean Brown is, and hopefully, if you've not seen the story in person, come on out and hear his testimony about what these dogs can do and have done and will keep doing.
Or if you can't make it, listen to our interview with Sean Brown and Morgan Watt, because that is his testimony as well. So,
with that, Cam, what are you smoking on tonight?
this is the Gran Habano 20th Anniversary Capitulo 1.
Which was featured in this month's Tip Top Cigar of the Month Club.
Which was also a limited run. And it is delicious. Getting a lot of fresh baked bread, some caramel, a little bit of creaminess.
Is that a 70 ring gauge?
Yeah.
Definitely hefty.
Yep. We're about an inch and a half through already.
You burned through them. I had a 6x80 last night, a big CAO. Definitely a mouthful. I have got the Rainier Lorenzo LCA Masterpiece by HVC. One of this month's LCA releases, which of course I can never get enough of. Thanks to our boy Steven Danchis at the Cigarro. It's a 6.5 by 52 Toro, a Mexican Maduro wrapper, which really intrigued me. And then Nicaraguan binders and fillers grown by Aganorsa leaf. So far, again, that beautiful Mexican wrapper, nice dark rich flavors, obviously strong tobacco, leather, a little bit of light chocolate, a little bit of coffee bean. Good burn, a little tight on the draw, but nothing major. But so far, so good. And then Steven, with your first serious smoke, I believe ever.
Yeah, very, very first one that's actually like, professional, quote unquote.
I gave you the McAuliffe Blue, which is pretty new. I'm a huge fan myself.
I like it.
It was the lightest thing I had in the humidor, at least.
I can get down with it.
Yeah.
For sure. I can get down with it.
Just the habit of smoking for me is just so relaxing. Especially after a long work day. You just light one up for an hour, hour and a half. Really calms you down.
Yeah, I was a little like
amped
a
up.
little amped.
I was like
a little nervous.
A little nervous, and now I'm just like, all right, we can do this. It's just talking to the bros.
Cruise time.
Oh yeah. Once you get going, man, you don't even think about it. Is it weird hearing yourself through the headphones?
Not as weird as I thought it was gonna be.
I feel like that's kind of a trend here. Yeah.
Like I was expecting like some like weird echo, and I don't get that.
No, it sounds incredible. It's honestly the best part. And after like probably our first 2 episodes, once we got everything kind of nailed down, you don't even think about it anymore.
You would prefer to hear yourself with this microphone than you do. Like, I still don't like listening to myself like recorded on my phone.
Sound like an idiot
because it sounds so bad. But
So
this just
dumb.
sounds so good.
Yeah, it really goes a long way. It's a performance enhancer for sure.
The BED of talking, in a way.
As a mixer, yes.
Then we're pairing that tonight with a new bottle, the Penelope Barrel Strength.
New bottle.
Well,
It
for up the top.
It don't really
new
look
for the
like...
new for the show. New for the show.
He's like, yeah, I got it yesterday. What's the problem?
I had to sample a little bit, It's 116 proof. Penelope, of course, is a 4 grain, so it's corn, barley, rye, and wheat. It's 3 different mash bills, all at least 4 years old, so it should be a lot of different things going on here. I was very impressed. Thank you, Mike Zimmer, friend of the show, for the recommendation. He's a big Penelope guy.
I can tell you were really impressed.
I had maybe 3 pours of that.
That's 3 big pours, man.
Make it number 4. On the nose, very sweet, floral, definitely complex. Not really the typical like caramel brown sugar, which has got to be based on all the other grains here. Doesn't really drink like 116. It's really not that hot. Good mouthfeel, nice long finish. A lot of that vanilla sweetness kind of is what I'm getting. Some citrus for sure. But very well balanced, nuanced. It should open up more as it sits here a little bit longer. With that, let's start with Steven's expeditions this week. They went to Raw on Monday and going to SmackDown
tomorrow night.
Tonight, by the time the episode comes out.
For the draft. Yep. The WWE draft.
It'll be exciting.
You will see Cody Rhodes tomorrow. I know your baby mama was not happy to not see Cody Rhodes on Raw when he's a SmackDown superstar now.
But seeing Pat McAfee and Jey Uso yeet all over Columbus, Ohio was made up for it. So She got some cool little shots.
Got to see Damian Priest and Judgment Day in full effect.
Dude, when he
and
ran
I
out,
believe you got to see him up close and personal.
very up close and personal, like an arm length away almost. And he is a very, very big dude.
That's dope. So you had very, very good seats.
Floor seats.
No
Yeah.
kidding. That's
For
big time.
Not a bad price either.
Nationwide, I assume?
Schottenstein.
Shot. Okay. Yeah.
And then tonight will be Heritage Bank Arena, where the Cyclones play.
Had to be an incredible crowd, right? I've never been to a wrestling event live.
Oh, it was amazing.
Wrestling crowds live are probably the best crowds you'll ever be in.
I believe it.
Best sports event you could probably go to is a wrestling event, just because of how lively the crowd gets.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, football.
And how many there are.
You'd be very surprised. Very, very surprised.
Because like they can fill an arena more. Like if it's a Cavs game, they can fill more of that arena than they could because they can eliminate half of the court. So yeah, they get packed, and I believe they're still on pace of selling out like every show to start out.
I believe so.
Since WrestleMania, they've sold out every show.
I would know since before WrestleMania.
Was it before?
It was about late February after the Royal Rumble. They started selling out because that's when the whole, Brock doing his thing came out or started whatever. That's when everybody was like, "Hey, I want to go over here, go see The Rock."
Yeah, definitely on my bucket list to attend some kind of event at some point.
Yeah.
They're really not that
it's-
expensive to go see.
Yeah.
I think it was.
You'll have to go with somebody who knows what they're doing. That way they can tell you what the popcorn matches are. But other than that, it's a match where you go get popcorn.
Yeah, like a little fourth inning stretch.
Yeah.
Bottom of the lineup.
Yeah,
I could
yep.
afford to miss this inning here.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had, first things first, got to mention, saw Springsteen last Sunday after like a year and a half in the making. Same thing, floor seats. Which, like, you go down there and they're like, guy checked your ticket and says, yeah, follow me to your seat, sir. Which is, makes you feel pretty good.
Little fancy dancy ordeal right there.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, incredible show, 3 hours nonstop. Just phenomenal. Exceeded expectations in every way.
And actually, we didn't do pictures yet, but I'm not going to take one of you. I'm going to use that picture of your Bruce Springsteen attire.
Me and Pops
Yeah.
at Bruce. Yeah. And then last night at Great American, my first time in club seats, which is a
Nice.
whole different experience.
Nice.
Parking lot is pretty much in the stadium. You walk up one flight of stairs, there's a front gate, and then your main stairs up to the club area. Walk in, it's like a cafeteria setup with the best ballpark food. We got our money's worth because everything is included except alcohol. Started off with a couple of slices of La Rosa's, which basically that station was like a big round, almost like a bar, with like a pizza oven in the middle. And they're doing a pizza, and you don't wait in line. They just put plates up on the bar, and just as you go, you grab stuff. Couple dogs, burgers, barbecue, I think from the joint downstairs, and the best mac and cheese I've ever had.
Whoa.
Buffalo chicken, like crunchy mac and cheese. I had at least like 5 bowls, or 5 little, containers of it. Ice cream, nachos, incredible experience. And the best part, your seats are right outside. So you can, innings over, walk inside, grab a dog, grab a beer, back to your seat. Don't miss a pitch. You're not waiting for anything.
That's amazing.
The game itself, awesome. We were down 3-2 late. And then Espinal with a nice 2-run single. Ellie went 3 for 5. Ground rule double. Stole 3 bags.
Ellie doing Ellie things.
Ellie in person is the same effect like Myles Garrett. Like you're seeing something you've never seen before.
And he's also gigantic.
He's like 6'5". He hit 3 balls, probably at least 110 miles per hour. Again, stole 3 bags. Even just routine ground ball to shortstop. His cannon arm. Great game. A little chilly. The only downside for late April. Had a little wind going, but great experience, great win. And again, the most excited I've been to be a Reds fan in like 15 years.
Yeah, the last club seats I went to was in the Bengals stadium, actually. And you park under the stadium. And you come up, you're inside.
Yeah.
That's
It's
dope.
pretty wild.
They're easy to get into. Didn't wait very long to get out at all. It's I still love being out in the crowd with the true fans, but a little taste of that high life is nice every now and then.
Do you feel like you should have been in a suit?
No, that's a little much. There was one guy in a suit there. Probably came straight from work, but
What jersey did you rock though?
well, I misplaced my Vado
Michael
City
Parsons.
Connect last year.
How
So-
do you misplace that?
So it was in Nashville for my buddy's bachelor party.
Oh, it's gone completely.
Oh, yeah, definitely gone. And I put my clothes in a drawer, and I swear I checked that room 3 times when we left, and didn't check that drawer. So I lost my favorite Slayer tank top and my Vado City Connect jersey.
Tragic.
Man.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That is
Probably got that
very
Slayer
tragic.
tank top at a concert.
Yeah, actually, their farewell tour.
Yeah.
Had a good run, but nothing lasts forever, right?
That tank top should have.
It should have. Miss it every day.
And so should that City Connect Vado jersey.
I'll give you an Elliott one to replace it. With that, we have one fan question tonight. What is the most exciting situation or moment in all of sports? Because I was watching some hockey last night, my Oilers. Overtime playoff hockey, as tense as can be.
Yeah, this playoff overall has been. I mean, I'm shocked Rempe's been on the ice for as long as he has. There hasn't been too many brawls, but
Yeah.
the threat of a brawl is like every 5 minutes.
Any moment.
Like they're up in each other's faces, getting ready. I mean, maybe a punch or two is thrown, but never really a brawl. But yeah, playoff hockey's very, very exciting.
Bottom 9, bases loaded, your team's down. Doesn't get any more tense than that. And then for me, watching at least, almost any big UFC fight.
Yeah,
Because again, at any moment, that can be over.
main events for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think title matches at PLEs and WWE just as tense.
Gotta
I
be up
mean,
there.
as a fan, you don't know the outcome.
I mean, like
You have a good guess, but
but to just hear like UFC side, just to hear Bruce Buffer just yell his
Just-
iconic "It's time!" And
just
like,
Bruce Buffer is exciting.
Honestly, especially for big fights, the walkouts and Bruce announcing is almost as heart pumping as the actual fight.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one.
2-minute drill, you're down 4.
2-minute drill's exciting. Ah, man. I don't know I'm trying to think of what's gotten my heart racing the most.
I feel like basketball, not as much.
If you're down 2 with 25 seconds left,
buzzer beater, yeah,
you're a little amped up.
game winning, touchdown, football game. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I would say probably
Probably bottom of the 9th,
yeah. I was
bases
gonna say
loaded.
bases loaded, bottom of the ninth.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Even if you're just down 1.
Even
Because
tie game, whatever.
anybody that grew up playing baseball, enjoying baseball, watching, playing, whatever the case may be, every kid dreams of being.
Absolutely.
Every kid dreams of bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 strikes, full count, and you just hit a home run, grand slam, game over.
There
You
can't be
beat
a better feeling in sports, period.
You have to feel like a kid in a candy store after that happens.
Every time. Yeah. Any kind of walk-off, man. I can't imagine. I guess specifically when we saw, I think it's 2012 division clinching, Jay Bruce walk-off homer. Full house, place went wild.
Yeah, you were there for that.
Oh, yeah.
Was it 2010 or 2012?
I was there for both. I think the walk-off was maybe 2010.
Because I
I
remember
think the one in 2012 was your heartbreaker, right?
Well, in the playoffs, yeah. Game 5 against the Giants. Little different end of the spectrum there. That one definitely the most heartbreaking situation to be in. Being up 2-0 in the series, coming back home, and losing 3 straight. Thanks to Buster Posey. But
That's
We're
who it
staying
is,
positive.
Buster
We're
Posey.
staying positive
Your most
tonight.
hated athlete, one of.
no, because I like the guy overall. Just that one moment.
I hated Yachty. Yachty
Oh, of
Evelina,
course, yeah.
being a Reds fan, hated him.
Respect the hell out of him.
Absolutely. You can't
But
do nothing
good
but
Lord,
respect him.
Couldn't stand the dude.
Absolutely not. It was very, very annoying. That's why I loved it when, Billy Hamilton was still second on him. Like, yeah, that's what you get. Or, when Castellanos stood over top of him.
Oh,
Had that iconic picture.
top 5 moment. Yeah, as a Reds fan, especially that season. There wasn't really a whole lot going on.
At least we had something to be excited about. We had excitement over a picture.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
100 losses, but look at that picture.
Saw Castellanos last night, of course, in Philly now. Only thing we missed was Bryce Harper on a paternity leave, who, of course, came back today and went yard. And we lost 5-0. Oh, he kills us. So
I think they said 15 home runs against just the Reds.
that checks out. Yeah.
I mean, start of the season when we were in Citizens Bank Park, he went 0 for 6 to start the season, or whatever it was, and then hits 3 home runs with the grand slam in one game.
That was
what?
That was a tough pill to swallow.
What?
He's a dog.
It's rough.
What else can you say?
So, yeah, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded is consensus here. With
I
that,
think I definitely agree.
most overrated Thursday, WWE edition.
Now, because, like we all said, I don't really have my finger on the pulse of the community as much. These guys, I think one's definitely overrated. One, I'm not really sure how he's rated entirely. But I think me and you have the same guy to start with.
I think
probably all three of us.
It's pretty much a unanimous decision on this one.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan.
The Hulkster.
Got to.
Definitely most overrated all time.
Iconic, yes.
But he stole somebody's gimmick.
Yeah, and also not even
and he's
great in-ring wrestler.
Props to him because he's admitted to him stealing that gimmick, which for a guy being as pathological of a liar as he is, shocked he admitted to it. But yeah, he said he stole it from some guy who was wrestling in a small-time promotion in Minnesota before he went to New York with Vince.
How do you think that guy feels?
Awful.
It's like that should have been me.
Hates Hulk Hogan with a passion.
Screw your red and yellow, screw your Hulkamaniac, screw everything.
Yeah, the guy's literally, he was something a mania, and Hulk Hogan literally took it.
Did he have the same kind of look?
I'm not sure.
Probably not.
I doubt it, but I think he might have started the Hulkamania. Like, it might have even been Hulk.
And ripped off. Leg drop, one of the weakest finishers ever.
So lame.
Not even good.
It's
even the whole gimmick of like when he goes
even
Hulk
at
mode.
the time, the leg drop was a weak finish.
Yeah, not that good.
Like at the time, you had Macho Man doing the elbow drop, but he got up there. You had, maybe Andre the Giant's finisher was weaker. Was it like a headbutt or something? I'm sure.
He's kind of limited to what he could do though.
You can't do a whole lot being that big.
I guess Ric Flair with just the woo chops.
Yeah.
Now, he was a master of the chop, for sure.
Taking a chop, though, alone hurts.
It does. It does. That's the one thing every time I watch, and I'm watching these guys have chop battles, I'm like, their chests are purple.
Yeah.
Especially Gunther.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, dude. And there are guys who you can see they kind of put their arms forward to brace for it, but then there's guys like CM Punk who just pull their arms back. He's like, do it as best as you can, brother.
Hit me with your best shot.
Second overrated wrestler.
Go for it.
I'm going Goldberg.
That's fair.
Never great on the mic. Not a lot of stamina in the ring. Didn't really do all that much. Again, not sure what the community thinks. But for me, never a huge fan. I think he's definitely overrated.
That's probably like a consensus overrated, if I had to guess. Nobody loves Goldberg.
Like I said earlier, he was more of an attraction more than anything.
Yeah,
everybody wanted to go to WCW to see him to demolish somebody in 30 seconds with a spear and a jackhammer.
Yeah, we mentioned, I think we talked about best physiques. Goldberg definitely on there.
He's up there.
But as far as actual in-ring talent or on-mic talent, yeah, not that great. What do you guys got?
I went more current with Omos.
Yeah. I don't know. He's just
never
never
a great
around.
Khali, just from a different country.
Yeah. And he's only around at like Royal Rumble just for that giant spot.
Same with Great Khali.
Yeah.
He's never been good.
You can honestly just say all the giants, like Big Show even.
Strowman, no.
Yeah, but he doesn't do that big man giant role, really.
True. That's very true.
He's more of like a powerhouse. I'm going to say Triple H.
Ooh. That's a hot take.
That's a very hot take.
I know. And I love Triple H, but his go-to spot was just bleeding. He was bleeding in 5 seconds every match.
What about Ric Flair?
Ric Flair
Ric Flair.
The reason why I don't count Ric Flair is because he's still to this day the Nature Boy. He is his gimmick. That's not a gimmick. It's just Ric Flair.
Authentic.
Yeah. So in ring, Ric Flair terrible,
but
probably the most unentertaining guy of all time in the ring.
Totally fair.
I will say Triple H the creative versus Triple H the wrestler. Love Triple H as creative, but as a wrestler, it was just again in ring very limited.
02 to 05 Triple H. Hated.
And yeah, he had spans where he was more entertaining to watch for sure, but it was just rinse and repeat. It wasn't very creative in the ring, and I don't know, especially when you're with Shawn Michaels, who's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
How can you still be bad?
Yeah,
next to Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, it's gonna make you look bad no matter what, unless you're the Undertaker or John Cena. But yeah, either if not Triple H, then The Rock.
Thought about that
because the thing that I have with The Rock is all of his promos are the exact same, and they always have been
for the past 30 plus years.
Yeah,
but he did perfect it.
But I will say his in-ring talent, as far as selling capabilities, probably best of all time.
Oh man, every time he sells a stunner.
Dude, he has some of the best sells ever for anything.
Without a doubt.
Except that Mania this year when he sold that spear. That was just,
I don't know.
Over the top.
I wrote it down in the notes earlier. I don't think that was a sell. I think that was actual pain because he's never...
Could have been. It could have been. He hasn't been speared since Goldberg, so...
That was, 03?
It was, way back.
Now, before the full Mania recaps, which this guy will be mentioned, let me get your thoughts on this. I don't really follow wrestling as much the past 5-6 years. I almost went Roman Reigns. I haven't watched him near enough.
He's not overrated.
Not overrated?
No, not at all.
Honestly, I think he could go down as the best heel ever.
Really?
The whole greatest of all time talk undoubtedly goes as his heel work.
Yeah.
His heel work was untouchable.
I mean, even just through the match, the mic would just catch him saying, at Mania is a perfect example. He hit Cody Rhodes with Cody Rhodes' finisher. Cody Rhodes kicked out, and he said, I knew that was a shit finisher.
It's pretty good. Yeah, just me being uneducated. I don't think I've even seen Roman wrestle personally.
I would almost say his off mic promos. What cameras would catch would be a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Than what he would say on the mic.
Agreed. And at WrestleMania again, Cody Rhodes was going to pull a table out. And when Roman got Cody Rhodes down, he put the table back under. He said, ain't no fucking way I'm taking a table spot.
Gotta be smarter than that.
I like that a lot. So, perfect segue into your WrestleMania breakdown here.
Starting at night one, match one, which was Becky and Rhea.
Huge Rhea Ripley fan over here.
She fangirled very hard when Motionless in White sang her song to come out.
She did. Yeah, I believe that's her favorite band.
It is.
So, and I think they killed it. Way better than Lil Wayne.
That was
doing
terrible.
Whatever he did.
Lil Wayne was there?
He
exactly. Lil Wayne was there?
He was, yes. And he forgot the words to a Millie.
Ooh.
No, he had to bleep out every other word. Because
he also had to do that. But it looked like he was, because of the bleeps, he just didn't know where he was at, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of be difficult, right?
But yeah, that was rough.
Very rough.
Yeah, his voice is very, very, it was raspy when he started. It's like grated sandpaper right now. That dude just eats sandpaper every day.
It was bad. I would say though, Becky's attire though, when she first came out, that was pretty dope with her little pages from her book and whatnot.
That was cool.
That was pretty dope.
Overall, I like that match.
It was a solid opener.
I think it was a great opener. I'm more of a fan of the regular, normal one-on-ones. Extreme Rules are fun and stuff, but I like, especially with title fights.
I like a good, solid stand-up,
Yep.
Go
Tell
at
me the
it.
story.
Stories go a long way in a wrestling match. If you can't tell a good story, don't even bother being in that ring.
Of course, Rhea won, kept the title.
Yep.
And did she get injured in that one or after that?
So I don't know. I didn't really see where maybe she got hurt at WrestleMania. So I don't see it being WrestleMania, but I also don't see how she got hurt the Monday after Mania.
Yeah, I mean, freak things happen, but
my theory on that is it's a whole like kayfabe injury.
That's what I had read, that she's pregnant and
I'm
getting
thinking-
married, and you need a little injury to
like she
kind of cover
definitely
that.
already got married. No, Dom got married.
Dom got married. Rhea got engaged to Buddy Matthews or Buddy Murphy, whatever you want to call him as. But Rhea, I would say, probably took time off so that way she could do a babyface return, or kind of just like.
That's what I think. I think she should return as a babyface, whether she's hurt or not.
Kind of like give the crowd something to miss. You know?
Well, they're already cheering her out of the building.
Columbus was crazy.
Yeah, like there's
That little line Jay hit Damien with, crowd went crazy for it.
I did see that on
The
TikTok.
little Friday
Yeah,
after
yeah.
next reference. Tell mommy I said, ha.
But yeah, overall, 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9.
I mean, I did it by 5s, and I'd put it at 3.5. So
It's about the same.
It translates. Give or
So
take.
yeah, 3.5, 4.
it was, like I said, a solid little opener. Couldn't complain much. I mean, given a cold night like it was, wasn't
Crowd was
hateful.
pumped,
Wasn't hateful at all.
and finishers were actually finishers.
So many false finishes.
Like that's the thing. Like nobody really took. Like Rhea didn't eat 7 manhandle slams. There wasn't
finishers
13
actually
rip
meant
tides.
something.
Yeah, like
The rip tied into the turnbuckle, wouldn't want to do that.
no.
That looks like that was painful.
Yeah.
On top of Becky having the flu, no, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir. Next up was the 6-pack ladder match.
I enjoyed that more than I think most did.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
I thought it was going to be a little hectic, and it was as expected. But there were honestly, some of the best spots I've ever seen in a ladder match were in that match.
That Grayson Waller spot after he grabbed the title
Yeah.
looked like that was.
Was that the DDT through the table?
No, that was when he got pushed off the top of the ladder and fell onto the ladder that was.
Through the ladder. Yeah,
between
yeah.
the ring and the announcer table.
Yep.
That pain, that scream,
Then
probably was real pain.
Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa belong in ladder matches
They thrive in those matches.
because that tornado DDT off the apron through the table
Ridiculous.
was beautiful. And then Tommaso Ciampa's "screw the titles, we're going down, brother." Whatever that was
the
beautiful.
white noise he hit off the top. Yeah. JD McDonough coming out, getting thrown through the table.
As he should.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody likes JD.
I don't know a single person that says, "Ooh, yeah, I want to go to a show and see JD McDonough."
You want to talk about, like, JD McDonough and Finn Balor both look like they're supposed to be little people.
They
like-
actually, went through the ranks together.
No, I know, but, like, their heads, like, their features look like they're supposed to be, like, people
JD
with dwarfism.
looks like a Lego man. He looks like either a Minecraft character or a Lego man.
Dude, they look like midgets.
I just Googled this guy. Yes. How is that not a little person?
Like, it makes no sense. And
Oh,
he's not a big guy,
no.
He's not little.
but he's
either.
just an average-sized guy.
He's like, what, 5'7", 5'8"?
Yeah, he's just a normal dude.
Very odd anatomy.
But, like, Finn Balor's the same way. Like, they look like they could be related in a weird way. Like, stepbrothers or something somehow.
First cousins or something.
Something
stupid.
cousins, maybe second cousins. Like, where you kind of like, you look like me.
Who knows?
Finn looks more normal, for lack of a better term, to me. But JD, yeah, definitely has some odd DNA going there.
That's what Shaylee said when she saw him on TV the first. She's like, "Is he?" And I'm like, "No, he's not. He's a normal sized guy." But yeah, 6-pack. I thought other than R-Truth, I kind of figured he would get his WrestleMania moment finally. I don't
so
really
glad he did,
understand why
it took so long.
Grayson Waller and Austin Theory got the belts for SmackDown. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they didn't feel like DIY and New Catch Republic were built up enough yet.
That's complete bullshit.
But and I will say with
New Catch deserves it.
They do. I agree. But DIY, I think you can still put on the back burner for a little bit. It takes the crowd a little bit to get warmed up to them still. But their time is coming. I think they'll be the ones who take the belts off of Awesome Truth. Match 3, well, I guess the rating on that.
I gave it a 5. Just because of the spots. Just because of the spots alone.
Yeah. I got to say 4 just because I didn't like the one half of the finish.
Despite that, it was a great match.
Yeah. As better than it should have been.
Absolutely. I thought it was going to be
and I kind of have to take points off for the botched ladder.
The
one that Miz and Damian Priest went up, and then they were supposed to do a choke slam, and then they just had to tumble and bail because the ladder broke while they were on top of it.
The ladder was broken while they were climbing it.
Yeah.
That I don't like heights alone to do it in a wrestling ring where it's already unstable.
Yeah, I could imagine when the Miz got to the top, he's like, "Hey, we got to go. Like my ladder just broke down here. We got to bail." And then Damian Priest, of course, just tossed the ladder out, pulled a new one in, all inside of the match, and made it look good.
Definitely makes me want to go play SmackDown versus Raw, which I think I still have somewhere. I think my sister has it.
It was definitely a fun time back then with those games.
Dude, SmackDown versus... They need to go back to that style. I love those games. I love the 2K games for what they are, but I think if you take all the features that 2K has and just name it SmackDown versus Raw...
If you could give me a 2K wrestling game with SmackDown versus Raw storylines, like story modes...
Exactly.
Sold.
Yeah. And the ones featuring ECW... Man.
Imagine all the goats from Tommy Dreamer, Sandman. I mean, like we talked about earlier, the DLC pack's supposed to have Sandman, but
is he going to be slamming a beer on his head coming down from the crowd?
Smoking Marlboro Reds, coming down to Enter Sandman by Metallica. Man. Next match was... Oh, back to the ladder match, though. Damian's mask went hard.
Yeah. Judgment Day showed off for sure. Definitely showed out. But yeah, Damian Priest's mask was just phenomenal. The next match was that.
That was
the one nobody wants to watch.
The Rey Mysterio and Andrade match.
No, it wasn't that one then.
No, the match you're talking about is after Jimmy.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio.
Yep.
Good match. I don't know why they brought the father-son thing back.
They didn't need to do it. Just to give Rey a WrestleMania match, I guess, but he could have done that.
He was going to be in it anyways.
He could have done that with just Escobar.
Yeah,
Santos.
I think you just do a one-on-one with the faction intervening. Would have been fine.
Yep.
But they needed to definitely... I guess they probably made it a tag match to carry out the Dragon Lee stuff and potential Carlito heel turn. Which I'm still waiting on.
That would be great.
But
bring back the old Carlito Cool theme song.
Yeah.
I spit in the face of people who aren't cool.
But Jason Kelsey made his appearance there with Lane Johnson.
Nice little feel good moment for Philly.
That was fun.
They could be a tag team themselves.
Could be.
Large
and
fellas.
Let me tell you, Jason Kelsey in a Rey Mysterio mask is
terrifying.
The most hilarious thing you'll ever see.
I thought it was kind of terrifying. Imagine a luchador that big, not looking like Nacho Libre. Dude, I'm good. Do a Hurricanrana, I'm good.
Joaquin Wilde yelling, "I want my WrestleMania moment," then getting launched, catapulted off the ropes by two other guys.
Hands down my favorite spot.
And he just did a free crossbody. It was like probably 20 feet through the air. Just launched towards the stage. It was awesome. You should definitely look it up if you haven't seen it.
Just that spot alone was probably what made the match.
Yeah.
Besides that little, double stack crossbody.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
It was a nice little spot.
I think it was a good showing for Andrade for his in-ring debut, I guess, outside of the Jobber Royale on the Friday before, but his re-debut, I guess.
I've always been a fan of Andrade.
I do too. I like Andrade a lot, and I wish he was the one turning heel.
Seeing him live was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's also a big luchador.
Very big.
And his masks are the coolest masks out of all of them.
I love them.
They're so cool. I wish he could wrestle in them, but I get why he can't because they're just too much. But they're awesome. Overall, I'm going to say 2.5.
I gave it a 3.
There's just nothing really there. It didn't have any sustenance. It was rushed. Felt like we need another match.
Like I said,
what are we going to do?
Like we talked about while watching it live, it felt like a very like a filler match. Like we need another match. So
that's your popcorn match.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well.
One of the popcorn matches.
Yeah.
There was a lot. You could get popcorn and go to the bathroom all in the same card.
Yeah, which is unusual. Night 2, you couldn't leave your seat though. So
there was
they made up for it.
From the opening card of night 2 to the main event.
Yeah, then after Ray was the brothers. Or am I skipping a match?
Do what?
After the Rey Mysterio match was the brothers match.
Yeah, Jimmy and Jay.
Could have been great. Turned into a super kick fest that was just mid. So I'm going to give that a 2. I don't even really have a favorite spot.
I don't either. I gave it a 2.5.
Yeah, and then the next match.
I don't even want to talk about it. I really don't even want to talk about it.
All the wrestling fans out there is another here's what I can do Jade Cargill match at WrestleMania that made no sense. I mean, that kind of propped up that team or faction or whatever they call themselves, the Marvelous 3 or something like that.
Are they really going to be a faction?
I guess. I think they should just be Bianca and Jade should be a tag team.
I want to see. Let Jay get better. Go back to, Performance Center. Let her get better in the ring.
She could be good in the ring. We just don't know. They haven't had her do anything.
She has the 3 moves of doom.
Yeah, but they haven't made her do anything else. That's been the plan for all of her matches so far.
She's going to be the Goldberg of WWE.
Maybe.
I hope not. I really hope not.
But, yeah, just 1. That's a 1 match for me.
Yeah, I was very generous with giving it a 1.
Yeah.
I almost put half a star.
You can go lower.
PC, brother, PC.
Not on the show. We give out half stars occasionally.
Then Sami Zayn versus Gunther was next.
I thought that was a pretty good match.
5. And the finish being the Super Brainbuster. You want to talk about something that is very hard to pull off. How big's Gunther?
He's
6'4".
I would say probably 6'3", 6'4".
6'4", probably 250, 275.
He's
yoked. Sami Zayn's what, 5'10"?
215, 220.
Going up on the turnbuckle and dropping Gunther straight on his head onto the top turnbuckle.
I think I did see that one. Yeah.
Beautiful finish. Beautiful match. Rocky 4.
Up like that was crazy alone. But Michael Cole with the Do You Believe in Miracles call?
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, the whole match overall, 5 stars for sure. Then we get to the dreaded tag team match.
Didn't need that time.
Definitely went way too long, but I feel like the reason why it went long is because they spent too much time out of the ring.
I actually timed it like from the start. I went from Cody's entrance.
The entrances, that's fine. I knew they were going to take forever. I liked all the entrances. I thought they were all really good.
From Cody's entrance to the final bell, it was an hour and 5 minutes. They didn't need that long. They could have done the same thing with 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah. But like I said, I love the entrances.
Dope. They were dope.
The Rock's final boss entrance is amazing. Cody Rhodes with the Homelander outfit.
Loved it.
I mean, entrances were awesome. Spots were cool. I was shocked that The Rock took a table spot.
The Rock tripping over his own feet was pretty hilarious.
Definitely a little bit of ring rust, but he got it knocked off pretty early. He looked actually really good. Better than he did when he fought John Cena.
12 years ago?
Yeah.
Whatever? 10, 12 years ago?
I think it was 10. Decade.
Either way, remain as up there in age like he is.
Yeah. What, 52?
51, I think.
But overall, probably 4.
Yeah, 4.5, probably.
But finish was expected. Rock getting the pin on Cody.
Being the final boss and, bloodline.
All that made sense.
Bloodline rules. And
yeah.
It was a given.
So, honestly, morale kind of low going into night 2.
So, night 1 as a whole, what would you give your rating there?
3.5.
Yeah, about 3.5, 3.
The matches that were good were great, but everything in between was just pointless, it felt like.
And then night 2 comes along.
I believe they opened with
Seth and Drew.
Quicker than I expected.
That Claymore opened up the match. Crazy.
Claymore opened up the match, then 7 Claymores later, or 7 attempted Claymores later, he finally lands another one. Drew gets the pin. Naturally, then with all the beef with CM Punk, is just sitting on the announce table, rubbing it in CM Punk's face, stands up, and then CM Punk sweeps his feet out from under him, takes the arm brace off, smacks him with the arm brace.
Kisses goodbye to his wife.
Then here comes Damian Priest to cash in the Money in the Bank. Second time in WrestleMania history it's happened at Mania.
Heist of the Century 2.0.
Yeah, and then Damian Priest has his WrestleMania moment after losing in night 1. Beautiful.
I couldn't complain one bit.
4.5.
I actually think I gave it a 5 because of the ending.
If they had more in ring time, I mean, they only wrestled for like 15 minutes. But it wasn't. The match wasn't for that either. But I do wish that they would have had a little bit more in ring time because I think Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins are amazing in ring talent.
But how much in ring work could Seth actually do with his knee?
Probably more than that. But he was very beat up, even coming out later that night.
I was gonna say I saw a video from above like nosebleed shot. He was hurting.
Yeah, he was beat up for sure.
Was hurting
and
a
like
lot.
even walking back to the locker room after celebrating with Cody at the end, still limping and just beat up. He's definitely going to take some time off.
He deserves it though.
Yeah.
He absolutely deserves it.
Defended his title 30 times in the last year.
Same amount of title defenses that Roman had the entire 3.5 year reign.
Yeah. But yeah, 4.5. Like I said, a little bit more in ring time, maybe less finishers. Because they did go finisher heavy.
Very, very. The second match, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Final Testament.
With Bubba Ray Dudley as the special guest referee.
It had to happen.
One of my favorite spots, not really spots, but favorite moments in WrestleMania was him getting backed into the corner by Karrion Kross and him just pulling out his goggles that he wore in matches when he wrestled and just putting them on. I'm like, oh, dude, that's hilarious.
Kind of like a
keep it up.
Don't do it.
See what's going to happen.
Don't do it. I promise you won't like the outcome.
Tributes to the Dudley brothers. I wish they would have done a 3D, but with that table being broken, they're like, oh, we're kind of pinched on time now.
How many tables broke? Like 2 or 3 before they actually got the actual table spot?
So one of them, they set it up, and then the left side of it just collapsed, so they had to get a new table, and it just started to get a little hectic, and they had to just I think he just hit a frog splash through the table to pin.
Yeah, Montez with the frog splash, pinned him.
They were planning on doing a 3D from what I could tell. They even did the 3D thing to the crowd. Then the table just botched, and they had to speed it up. But they did do, I don't know what they called it, the headbutt to the crotch.
Oh,
that Bubba Ray used to do.
Diving headbutt or whatever.
I think it's so impressive when guys can improv in the ring when things don't go according to plan.
That's the beauty.
Like when a table does mess up.
That is honestly the beauty of wrestling, though.
Yeah, and to be on the fly in WrestleMania, no less, and to be able to work through that and then come up with a maybe not as good a spot as originally planned.
Still good.
But yeah, that's really impressive.
Honestly, even for a filler match, that was a good one. I'm going to say 3.5.
I did 2.5, just because.
I don't care for Karrion Kross and those guys.
AOP
I don't really
can't wrestle to save their damn lives.
I like the Street Profits, but I don't really know what they're doing with them anymore. I know they're going back in contention for the titles, and maybe since the tag division's beefed up now with the championship split, they'll get another shot.
I wouldn't hate it.
I don't either. I like them a lot.
I could dig it.
Yeah, I like them a lot, but the spots were good. The storytelling in the ring was good. So yeah, 3.5. Like I said, I don't really care for the factions, but it was good overall.
If you can do a good job, factions are cool, but like I said, AOP can't wrestle to save their life.
There's too many factions too.
That there is. LWO been around way too long.
Well, I think Carlito's going to quicken the pace of that.
Hopefully.
Because honestly, and probably just whenever Ray retires, too.
When's that going to be?
Who knows? But with him getting constantly injured now,
he has slowed down a lot.
Yeah, he's not as quick in the ring. Some guys know when to call it, some guys don't. Maybe he will. Who knows?
It would be very interesting, to say the least.
What was the match after that one?
LA Knight and AJ Styles.
Attitude Era match.
I loved it.
It was an Attitude Era match. 5 stars.
Loved it.
Storytelling was great. Even the build-up was awesome. Everything was Attitude Era.
The whole Stone Cold Brian Pillman showing up to the house.
Yeah, everything was Attitude Era.
I loved it. I actually gave it at 4.5 stars, but I feel like if it was a TNA match, it would have been a whole lot better because TNA AJ Styles, untouchable.
Yeah.
Untouchable. The who was it? LA Knight hitting that top rope German suplex.
Yeah.
That was
dirty.
That was wicked.
Yeah.
Very wicked. I put in my notes, I actually put Michael Cole talking about having matches in like other promotions. Wouldn't have happened in Vince's era.
No, definitely not. Yeah, the Triple H era is going to be pretty big for WWE, especially after the 4 or 5 down years they had leading up to last year.
I think late 2022, all 2023, they finally turned the nose up, and that was around the time all that started going down and Triple H started taking over. So it checks out as timeline wise. Match after that, or actually no, yeah, we already rated it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next match was Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens.
I loved it.
I couldn't complain one bit.
The entrances were fun. Kevin Owens making Randy Orton ride on like the tailgate of a golf cart when Randy Orton was clearly uncomfortable.
He was terrified for his life.
He was white knuckling it, saying, "Hey, slow down." Like you could see him saying, "Slow down." That was funny.
He was absolutely terrified.
Especially for Randy, he never breaks character. The guy's been in it since he was 18.
He's been breaking character. He's been breaking character since 21, COVID era.
Yeah, but like that, not at a stage like that.
Not at WrestleMania.
Yeah, like he's always been stone cold. And then, of course, them beating up Logan Paul to start off, and then they're like, I was going to get the pin, but since you don't want me to, I guess we got to go at each other now.
Kevin going, you want to do this? Randy going, we can do it. And then they just start going ham at each other.
And then the speed spot was hilarious.
Him barking at Randy Orton.
And then Randy Orton barking at him right before he RKO'd him onto an announcer table.
I loved it. It was very comical, you know.
I was curious at who they were going to put in the Prime costume, too. I knew it wasn't going to be KSI again.
Not multiple events at a time.
I didn't see Speed coming from a mile away. I never would have guessed that.
That's the beauty of WrestleMania. You never know who's going to show up.
Logan Paul, good in the ring?
Absolutely.
Best thing he's ever done with his career. Choices ever.
Boxing was all right, but wrestling, that's his true calling. Absolutely his true calling.
And he lives it outside of the ring too. Like he's a true kayfabe guy because he's not really playing a character.
He's being actually Logan Paul.
And like part of his heel stuff is the Prime logo in the ring. Like
of course, yeah, you got to factor that in.
Like that's all part of it too. All the sponsorships and stuff. He carries the belt everywhere he goes. Guys like that is who they need in wrestling.
Kevin Owens with the ECW theme shorts and the entrance. That was pretty sick.
Well, and the Terry Funk jersey or shirt night one before Sammy went out.
I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah.
But that's just because he's in Philly and, you got to pay tribute to the GOAT.
Yeah.
GOAT of hardcore, that is.
True. But match finish 3.5. I enjoyed it. There wasn't any crazy spots. It was what I expected it.
I gave it a 4 because the storytelling I felt like was all right. It was there. Like the whole Kevin and Randy don't like Logan. Logan, sneaking through, getting a win, doing typical heel work. I liked it. It was a 4.
Fair. I won't disagree with that.
Role model Bailey versus Io Sky next.
New Bailey's awesome.
I love
I'm glad she didn't go back to hug your best friend.
The
annoying,
Hugger
bubbly.
Bailey. Stupid.
But role model is a lot better. The new theme is sick. The Egyptian stuff that she had going on was cool. The match overall was great. I think Io Sky it's hard to have a bad match with Io Sky. She's so talented. But Bailey, not as versatile, but still talented at what she does.
I mean, she's good enough to be a Grand Slam champion, so, I mean, she's got to have some sort of in-ring skills.
Yeah. Like I said, not super versatile, but a master of her craft.
I feel like Io could wrestle a broomstick, though.
Yes.
Like
she's so good.
Io is very, she's very underrated, I feel like.
I don't disagree with that. Very talented. Wouldn't shock me if they go back with Io for a longer title run in the future. Because I think she got her belt at SummerSlam on a cash-in, right?
I believe that's right.
So, yeah, 6 months. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends. I don't know if we're going to be doing the year-long title runs for everybody or not, but that's what they did, and it wasn't working, so.
I don't like it. The only one that made it successful was Seth with the World Heavyweight title. That was because
Roman, really. But that was more just because he was the most popular heel. The Bloodline Tribal Chief stuff really worked.
But it's still working even without Roman. So how much?
True.
Much?
Not as much. They are the crowd is we want Roman.
But Solo doing the whole. Oh, now you do.
No, yeah, it's working for Solo. I think it's boosting Solo's heel work up. But yeah, I mean, with what they have going on, there's no title needed at the moment. So
just some great storytelling is what the Bloodline needs right now.
That's what they're getting.
And then the main event of night 2 was Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns.
Featuring Jey Uso.
Pretty much everybody.
The Rock.
John Cena. Undertaker.
And Shield Seth Rollins.
You don't understand how bad I wanted John Moxley to show up.
Yeah, well, he was sleeping.
He was probably in Japan.
He was sleeping in Japan. That's what he said. He said he got texts of people saying he hoped it was him. And he said, I was sleeping.
Could you imagine that kind of pop, though? To see John Moxley and Shield get up?
Just seeing Seth in it was... And talk about long-term storytelling.
Beautiful. The
revenge over title win.
It was... You couldn't write a better story. That main event probably was what made both nights.
Definitely one of the best main events I've ever seen.
So give me the full recap, full story here. I saw the ending, of course, but give me the full recap. So, what made it so historically excellent? I know the build-up between
obviously night 1.
Roman and Cody.
It started last year.
Yeah, been going for a while.
Okay,
yeah.
You know that.
So WrestleMania 39, Cody lost, and then he wants his revenge. Becomes back-to-back Royal Rumble winner 2023 and 2024.
And it really started
first time ever. right?
No. First person to do it since Stone Cold.
But it really started the whole push behind Cody Rhodes was Dusty Rhodes never won that championship.
Correct.
Well, he did, but it was what?
It was during, I want to say, Bruno Sammartino's reign.
It was a while ago.
It was some time ago, and the match ended in a count out, and
so he never really won it because the Champions Clause has to be pinned.
And there's this iconic picture of Dusty holding up the title, hence to why Cody threw it up the way he did, kind of like.
But
his dad.
the title was then taken away from him that night. So his whole thing is, that's my dad's title,
and I'm coming to get it.
Correct. And then what? When did Shield break up? Like 2012, 2013? The Seth Rollins break off.
2012 was the first time. Yeah, so Seth Rollins was... No, actually 2014.
2014. So when Shield broke up, Seth Rollins hit Roman in the back with a chair. And I don't remember what it cost him, but it cost him something.
That was actually when Seth started doing his heel work, teaming up with the Authority.
That's right. So fast forward to now, you have... Well... Also, so you have Jay taking out Jimmy to make sure Jimmy doesn't get involved in interfering with the match. They just had a night before. One's a babyface brother, the other one's a heel brother. Spear off the stage through a couple tables. Amazing spot.
Loved it.
John Cena takes out Solo because Solo is the last person who beat John Cena in a singles match in August. No. Crown Jewel's in what? September? November?
Yeah.
Somewhere around then.
No, November is Survivor Series.
So October maybe?
Probably.
That's the last time John Cena wrestled, was against Solo. Hit a random attitude adjustment on Roman Reigns in there too. I thought that was kind of out of pocket.
Did not need that spot whatsoever, but whatever.
That was very out of pocket. Then The Rock shows up, rock bottoms John Cena into the abyssal hell of eternity. And then that's when the gong hits, and here comes Taker out from under the ring to choke slam The Rock. Lights go off again. I'm assuming both got under the ring because they disappeared. And then Seth Rollins comes out, or I think he came out earlier, but he got Superman punched basically immediately.
No, he came out right before, because them taking out Roman hitting Seth with the Superman punch was what made Rock turn around and be like, oh, who's next? And then
that's right. Him coming out in the Shield gear from 2014.
But it's not the first time, though. You remember when he did it against him and Roman?
Yeah, but that's different. It's been like
the Ghost of Christmas Past type deal?
Yeah, it's been like 6 years at this point.
And main event WrestleMania.
Not even 6 years.
It's been memorably. It's been a while.
He just came out to it like...
Yeah, but that wasn't that memorable.
The look on Roman's face when he heard Shield's intro music,
it wasn't quite like what it was at Mania.
You gotta show out on Mania, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying memorable. People are going to look at the Shield breakup than him coming out in 2024. But brought a chair out with him, came out from the crowd and everything, just like old Shield fashion.
If you want my honest opinion, I think that chair he came out with was more of a cane, but...
Probably. He definitely was not in great shape. But at the end of the match... Towards the end of the match, which led to the ending, was Roman having the chair, Cody on the ground, could easily finish the match, but there's Seth Rollins hobbled in the corner, and Roman goes after Seth to get his revenge finally.
After 10 years, a decade-long revenge finally happened.
And then he eats 3 crossroads, and 1, 2, 3, the rest is history.
Finish the story as Michael Cole's second famous call of the whole WrestleMania, both nights. First was the whole "Do you believe in miracles?" with him and with Sammy, and then the whole 1, 2, 3 simultaneously saying finish the story. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Samantha Irvin with the
crying basically while she's calling the new champion. I mean, it was cinema.
It's pretty excellent storytelling.
Yeah, it was cinema.
Culminate that moment after all that build up.
The entire locker room coming out to celebrate, just like I believe they did with Dusty Rhodes. I think that was a callback.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, even as far as bringing out Bruce Pritchard, who has been in and around wrestling since like the 70s.
Literally the 70s?
He was Brother Love. I don't know if you remember Brother Love at all.
No.
Old Pumpkinhead.
Yeah. But, yeah, just beautiful storytelling.
It was a story within a story within a story within a story. It was beautiful. You don't even have to watch wrestling hardcore like everybody, like me and Cam do, to understand that was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, to appreciate that moment. And that group of moments.
But I know you had teased that you may get back into it.
Probably not to a super level, but follow it here and there. Yeah.
It's worth it. I promise you it's worth it.
Just men's reality TV.
And that's what it is. What more do you want? That's all you need. Well, say, Steven, also, you look like a consummate professional already with the cigar.
Oh,
like you've been smoking for a while.
I mean,
very natural.
It comes with practice. With a lot of other things.
Cigarettes, obviously.
Yeah.
So clearly a 5 out of 5 on that main event.
Ooh.
Yeah.
6 out of 5.
I gave it a 6 out of 5.
Yeah, it couldn't have got a better one. The only thing that would have been better is the glass shattering instead of Undertaker.
See, it would have made too much sense, though. I mean, little here and there, whatever, with the whole Seth
The Rock's last, like, real feud, because I don't count the John Cena stuff, was Stone Cold.
The 3 iconic WrestleMania matches.
Yeah, so, like, to me, that's why it should have been Stone Cold, but if you also think about it, Undertaker's always been kind of same as Stone Cold, where he's like, if you're kind of the boss being a douche, you're going to feel Undertaker's wrath.
Yeah, Taker's going to put you in check.
So it makes sense. The storytelling for either way would have made sense. But the glass shattering is just so iconic.
Best pop of all time.
And everything, Roman Reigns, his title run was 1,316.
Seth Rollins
was 316. Like it looked like they wanted Stone Cold so
right
bad.
Itself, but I guess it's kind of scheduling conflict. Apparently,
yeah, he said that he had to do races or something. So whatever that means.
He was doing Stone Cold things.
Yeah, he was just being Stone Cold out there. Probably slamming beers together. He probably had one too many beers. His 4-wheeler couldn't get there or something.
Stone Cold cannot have one too many beers. There's not enough beer in the world for Stone Cold.
Stone Cold is releasing an IPA, a Stone Cold IPA.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
I don't know if it's out. Is it out?
He's had his own beer for a while now.
Well, I know he was talking about actually doing an IPA, though.
Really?
Broken Skulls IPA, Broken Skulls Distillery or something like that.
See,
he was talking about it on his podcast.
I could have sworn that was already a thing, because if you see...
I might have listened to a re-released episode.
I was going to say probably, because he's been, for the longest time...
It's got to be good. It's got to be the most beer-flavored IPA ever.
It looks like a PBR from a distance, though.
Of course.
But, it's Stone Cold.
Yeah, it's got to be good.
I'm shocked he hasn't done some kind of, Texas rattlesnake whiskey. Because Texas bourbon is getting pretty big.
True, yeah. He'll be in the game before
long. And that'd be
such
such an easy sell. Even if it's not good, everybody's going to buy it.
But he cares.
Clearly,
he wants it to be good.
Yeah.
So, he's a professional alcoholic.
Maybe the best one ever.
Most iconic one, probably.
Can't name a more iconic alcoholic, that's for sure.
And most beloved alcoholic.
Also true, yeah.
I think why everybody loved Stone Cold was because he was the big old F you to authority.
Oh, yeah.
To
anti-establishment.
Your bosses.
Blue collar working man.
He was what everybody wanted to do to their bosses.
Of course, yeah.
So that's why everybody loved him. So Stone Cold's always going to be one of the GOATs.
Mount Rushmore, unanimous.
Everybody's had a boss they want to stunner.
Could you imagine a more satisfying moment? Walking out of your job that last day and just dropping a stunner right there.
double bird and everything.
I can't say I have that boss now. My boss is pretty great.
Oh, yeah. Thankfully, I've always had the same boss and a great boss.
I've definitely had some in the past that I would love to just hit with a stunner, or just somebody I work with.
There's a few of those people.
Also, like, maybe they're not my boss directly, but they have an influence over what I'm allowed to do.
Yeah.
The boss's boss.
Something like that, yeah.
And you clock out and say, I'm going to go to the bar. And I'm going to have 1 beer.
What?
And I'm going to have 2 beers.
What?
I'm going to have a shot of whiskey.
What?
That gets you pumped every single
Then I'll
time.
have a Bloody Mary.
What?
And then I'm going to have
more
3
beers.
beers.
I'm going to get in the mechanical bull. I'm going to ride frontwards.
And backwards.
Never gets old. So the entire event as a whole, night 1 and 2, besides a couple popcorn matches, night 1 sounds like it definitely met and
4.5.
exceeded expectations.
For night 1 being weather permitted like it wasn't bad. Night 2 definitely was the icing on the cake. So
Yeah, I go 4.5
yeah,
overall.
4.5 probably.
Now, where does the story go from here?
Depends on who's booking it. If me and him are booking it, it's the best story of all time.
I know you had some, if you guys were in charge of the writing, what you guys want to do.
If we were in charge of the writing, it could either really shit the bed or be really, really good.
There's no in between. It can't be average. It can either be something nobody ever in the history ever wanted to see, or something everybody wanted to see.
Well, let's let the people know what you guys got going on here.
So my thought is, I'm also a little biased because I am going to SummerSlam. So keep that in mind. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tickets
My dad's
already-
on the pre-sale. He's on it. He's locked in. He said we're due for a wrestling trip. So that weekend, I'll have a lot to talk about on the show following, because Creed for my first concert ever. Then SummerSlam the next night.
Dude,
That's probably the best weekend of all time.
yeah. You can't get a better weekend.
Like I
I'm
said,
still amazed you've never been to a single concert.
like I said, the only thing that would make it better was if it was actually the summer of '99, and I could do this in that succession.
I mean, 25 years later, might as well be.
But it's still Creed.
No, agreed. Yeah.
It's still Creed.
Like I said, it's called the Summer of '99 tour. If it was actually the summer of '99 and I was my age I am now, into what I'm into,
Stoked.
that would be the only thing that could actually make this a better weekend.
Creed did their first show on the cruise ship.
Heard
Sounded pretty good.
Heard it was killer.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Of course, the band's going to be tight. It's pretty much just Ultra Bridge without Scott. But
Yeah.
Scott looks good, sounded good, so I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm stoked. But, so, basically, my story culminates at SummerSlam. So, Roman Reigns, take time off. I don't want to see Roman Reigns.
Yeah, after that long of a run. Makes sense.
I want The Rock to be coming out when he can, maybe once a month, talking about how Roman Reigns disappointed the bloodline and all this stuff, because Solo's the tribal chief as it appears right now, obviously taking the shots called from The Rock, if I had to guess. They've got Tama Tonga now, which is doing amazing heel work also. But going back to the Attitude Era style, I mean, Tama Tonga wrecked his rental car into Kevin Owens' rental car and
It was great.
brought him out with blood gushing from his head and
That's
all that
pretty
stuff.
dope.
Like, it is, we're going back old school wrestling for sure.
And if that's the case, I definitely got to get back in because Attitude Era is unmatched.
But it's definitely appearing like we're starting to head back in that direction, at least with the heel work.
But it makes sense though, because if it's Triple H's era,
That's when he was-
that's when he thrives. So
Yeah.
that's what made the most money.
Yeah.
It makes too much sense.
Yeah, it's what the people want, I feel like.
And they're
It's what
going
the
with
people
need.
the
Yeah.
limited stuff in the arena so they could fit more seats. So that's also awesome.
I think it was the SmackDown before Mania.
That was the Raw after.
They
They
had,
had fucking monitors out to play vignettes and stuff. They didn't have a jumbotron
No kidding.
they had to literally like do away with the whole jumbotron.
to fit the ticket sales.
That's big time.
Yeah. But so Roman Reigns goes away. Him and The Rock and Solo are talking about how he disappointed the bloodline and how he's out and all this stuff. And then I want to see Roman Reigns return at SummerSlam, but not an in-ring return. Just come out in blue tribal attire as a babyface and be like, you're going down. This is the end of the bloodline, period. So I don't know how they're going to get there. I don't know who his team's going to be. The bloodline kicked Jimmy out. I don't really want to see him team back up with Jay and be the Usos again. But maybe he can somehow turn face.
Unless it's one of those things where they join back together, but
they're not a tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But Jacob Fatu is also in the WWE. I think he would be a great way to start the good tribal guys with the blue attire. But ultimately it leading to WrestleMania 41, Rock versus Roman for the head of the table, blue tribal attire versus red tribal attire. Chef's kiss.
Sounds good to me.
But if I had to guess, they're going to have The Rock fight Cody at SummerSlam for the belt. And Roman coming out towards what is supposed to be the finish of that and just standing there is going to cost Rock losing focus to lose that match. And then it's just going to be build from there.
Does Cody win with a small package, though?
No. He gets him in a crossroads right there.
The trifecta crossroads?
No, it doesn't have to be the trifecta.
Just the one and done.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's my fantasy booking for at least the Bloodline.
Steven, if you were the head writer.
I would, for at least the Bloodline, I would keep doing what they're doing right now. And then I would love to see Zilla Fatu in the WWE be a part of, the good guys, more or less.
That is Umaga's son, for those who don't know. His blood son.
Wrestles just like him. But I would love to see Zilla and Jacob be part of, the whole good guy team. And then have Tama Tonga, Solo, Rock.
That's really it.
Who would the fourth person be, though?
I don't know.
Because if they do a War Games match, then you got to have 4 on each side.
That is true. They can come up with somebody between then and now.
Have Zilla.
Maybe they bring Jimmy back. Jimmy learned his lesson.
That could be the direction they
that
go
could be
in.
it. Then you could do the War Games, yeah. Good versus bad.
Tribal combat and Warzone or War Games.
Yeah.
I would not hate it at all.
Rock and Roman can come in last for their respected factions.
Yeah, head of the table match, like you said. I could.
Well, that's going to happen regardless.
That's not a WrestleMania match, though.
It is.
You think so?
Yeah. Rock versus Roman 1-on-1.
I think it's got to be WrestleMania.
It's going to be tribal combat, but that's a WrestleMania match.
I don't want to see another tribal combat match, though.
It's not. It will be. But this time it's not going to be. It's going to be Roman's faction versus Rock's faction. There's not going to be any outside interference.
Like a lumberjack match in a way? Not lumberjack, but where they, I guess it would be a lumberjack, where they're all lined up around the ring.
No, it's a 1-on-1.
That's what I'm saying, like 1-on-1, but with everybody around the ring, so that way they can't escape or whatever.
Sure, yeah, I'd love that.
That would be pretty sick.
But that's what The Rock even said he wants a year-long build-up to him and Roman Reigns fighting at WrestleMania. They know that's the end goal already.
It's going to be a very long year if that's the case, because they're both off right now. So,
well,
they're going to fit a year and 8 months.
So far, they're doing a good job.
They're going to fit a whole year.
Because you gotta let Solo build up his bloodline first before it becomes a problem where we need to destroy it. And who knows? Maybe it'll be the new bloodline versus the OGs. Maybe it'll be Jacob Fatu on the bad guys.
Like Bloodline 2.0 versus like Day Ones or something.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Maybe for the fourth guy for that one, you throw in Sami Zayn.
I was sitting
Bring
here
back
thinking,
the honorary Uce.
I was sitting here thinking that same exact thing. Like that would be a nice little feel good moment. Have Sami get his revenge on everybody. Yeah.
Either way, tough to top this year's WrestleMania, for sure. Right?
It definitely lived up to the whole, biggest spectacle of sports entertainment. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And the crazy thing is, we're going to be saying this about WrestleMania 50.
Hopefully, yeah. Any more cherries on top you guys want to throw in here?
Judgment Day?
They're gearing up for a break apart there, too. It's very obvious.
Especially after what Damian said on Monday.
Yeah.
The whole, I don't need you, you guys need me.
I'll just handle my own business.
That's a clear sign of a breakup.
Yeah. Break up before Rhea comes back so she can easily come back in as a face.
I would like to see them break up while Rhea comes back. Rhea comes in, tries to, be the glue again, but, everything's already,
Well, I'm sure that'll happen, but by then we'll know they're broken up. You know what I mean?
That's very valid.
And maybe you get Finn versus Damian Priest at SummerSlam.
Listen, if they announce that as a card, best believe I will do everything in my power to get those type of tickets because
Hey, you should just get on the pre-sale.
I'm already on the pre-sale.
Well, there you go. Just go. It's on a Saturday.
You do realize we have a baby, so I mean.
Yeah, but you already told me your parents. It's a hassle to keep them away from the baby. So
It sounds like a win-win all across the board.
I think you're just trying to con me into going and spending a lot of money.
I wouldn't say it's a con.
Definitely not a con. Yeah, you're not getting screwed over there.
But I could enjoy it in the comfort of my own home.
You could, but you could also enjoy it in the comfort of Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Why would I want to go there?
Austin, how's the stadium?
Pretty great environment.
That's why you
I heard
want to
it.
go there.
I heard from a Browns fan himself that it sucks.
Well, that's not a true Browns fan because I've only ever taken non-Browns fans and they've loved it every time.
Excellent time. Even guys that don't follow football at all, like Papa K.
Yeah.
Killer time.
First NFL game ever. Loved it. And best chicken strips around, brother. What are we talking about?
I mean, I guess there's only one way to
Undisputed.
find out to go there myself.
So
SummerSlam,
done
perfect
deal.
time.
Yeah, you're going. You're
And
in.
you don't have to worry about being a football fan because you're still before the football season starts.
But I'm going to be obligated to wear my Pittsburgh Steelers jersey.
I mean, that's fine.
I would recommend against that.
Either that or you wear a Yeet shirt.
Nah. I would go all out. I would probably buy a legacy belt, all that.
Dude, I want one so bad.
I can't bring myself to spend
They're
that kind of.
so cool, though.
They're so cool, but I can't bring
Even
myself
the
to spend
MLB
that
ones. The MLB ones are sick.
It looked very good here in the studio.
Would. Oh, yeah. Don't buy yourself one. Donate one to the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could write it
Yeah.
off as like a charitable contribution or something.
I guess I could, couldn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
you
get
never
our
spent that money.
we'll get our
It wasn't your
accountant on
money to
that.
spend.
It was the office money that I don't have an office for.
Yeah.
That could be your temporary residence, you know.
Hey, I told you once before. When Sports and Stogies takes off and it's an umbrella, you'll have your Pittsburgh S&S Pittsburgh. That'll be you.
Nobody wants to listen to that though.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
There's a market.
I promise you, they're gonna hear this.
Dude, there's
episode.
a Barstool Bowling Green.
They're gonna want to hear this episode and never listen to my voice again.
Not a chance.
It's not true.
I mean, they do listen to you, so.
Exactly.
God knows why. Yeah. 81 episodes strong and still going. With that, boys, take 5 here. Come back with all the other sports topics. Draft in progress, cigar notes. Episode 81 back after this.
Alrighty, welcome back after that quick break that you guys don't know about, but we're coming right in hot with the NFL. Couple signings, mainly draft talk, with some NCAA rule changes.
Which were out of the blue, by the way.
Good
I
changes,
didn't know they had
though.
proposed things or were in, committee was gathering to approve things, but
Good
I like them both.
changes. Yeah, for sure.
First things first, Lions paid 2 of their best players, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Penei Sewell. Sewell now the highest paid offensive lineman in the league
And Amon-Ra was
for about
for
3
about
hours.
an hour. Yeah, was the highest paid wide receiver.
Until A.J. Brown also got paid. So
Which-
much for him going to
Yeah,
Dallas or anywhere.
His yearly is more, but 4 years versus 3 years here.
Yeah, 3 years for 96 with 84
So Devonta
guaranteed.
Smith and A.J. Brown locked back up in Philly, and Amon-Ra and Penei Sewell locked up in Detroit.
Bad news for Dallas having to sign CD, for the Bengals having to sign Chase, and whatever the Vikings want to do with J.J. Well, I'll be paid definitely more than what A.J. Brown got.
Yeah, and the last thing the Bengals need is more bad news because Trey Hendrickson and T. Higgins have requested trades. T. Higgins just reemphasized, I want traded. Trey Hendrickson kind of out of the blue.
Still under contract until past next year.
Yeah, says he wants long-term stability, which I guess 2 years isn't really long-term. It's medium-term, I guess. It's not really short-term either. But odd, out of nowhere. I didn't really expect it, especially with the year he had where he was potentially DPOY.
I could understand why Cincinnati doesn't want to do it, though, for the simple fact of injuries happen.
Agreed.
So, like, just because of the unknown and not known how the next few years or whatever of his contract's going to go, that's why they don't want to sign him long term.
Sure. I mean, I agree with that.
And if there was a contract year, that makes sense, but he's still under a contract.
Yeah, I don't know.
Most guys don't start talking their next deal until it's the prove-it year.
Or the year before, like the last year of their
Yeah.
contract, or... I mean, I guess we're not... I mean, I don't know.
It also could boil down to as simple as locker room issues. Like,
But yeah, there's got to be more going on there because it can't be just money at this point.
They've gotten rid of every other single defensive player they've had.
This would be the biggest loss of them all.
Definitely. Maybe outside of Jesse Bates.
They still got by without him last year, but losing your, edge outside of quarterback is the most important spot in football.
A premier edge rusher.
He's top 5 in the league.
Top 5.
Yeah.
If not top 3.
Definitely that 1A, 1B category with TJ and Bosa and Micah and Miles, of course.
I was going to say you're leaving out a big one there, but
Probably the best one.
I'll let it slide.
So yeah, got him some trouble here in Cincy. They did not draft a defensive lineman, which I thought they would. There's some out there. But
No, they took no, they didn't. They took the offensive lineman, the gigantic guy from Georgia.
Absolute athletic freak. 6'7", 340. I think he ran like a 4.7 or some crazy shit.
That's insane.
But draft-wise, the first 4 picks were all pretty much as expected. Caleb
Wasn't
Williams, of course.
really a big shock until 8, right?
Yeah, Daniels to 2, to the Commanders, which we thought maybe they would do some bizarre stuff there, but went according to plan. Drake made a New England, Harrison to Arizona. And then 5 and 6, we got some question marks at least. Chargers had options and went with Joe Alt, your Notre Dame boy. It's a great pick.
It's a great pick, but Justin Herbert still has nobody to throw the ball to.
Now, Harbaugh definitely building that Michigan run-first offense.
Quentin Johnston's still wide out 1 there.
Terrifying thought. So, I have no hope for Herbie, any kind of fantasy value. But Harbaugh wants to run that smash mouth, Big Ten style physical ball, which in today's league might work pretty well.
It might.
Because linebackers have gotten smaller to counteract these spread offenses, and a lot of linebackers now are also pass rushers.
but the linebackers have also gotten faster.
They have. But speed only goes up for so much when you're trying to get past a 6'7", 350 monster that's
And you're trying
down.
to peel off of that to go tackle a running back who just hit your gap.
Giants, again, thought they might do some kind of weird stuff, maybe taking a quarterback. I guess they wanted to trade up to 3 to get Drake May, but they went smart, sticking with Dandy Dollars apparently, and got him Malik Neighbors. Probably his best weapon there now.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors, assuming Jalen Hyatt gets playing time, and
you would
Darren
hope.
Waller.
Tennessee with an offensive tackle, safe pick. And then he had 8. The Falcons on the clock. Had plenty of options here. And they went completely unexpected to me, at least.
I didn't see it coming, Michael Penix Jr., but I don't hate it. I mean, he's talented. I think he'd, rightfully so, a top 10 pick, I think.
Yeah, I think somebody would have taken him. If they hadn't just signed Kirk to a 4-year deal, the pick looks a lot better.
Hey,
But
it never hurts to draft your future.
I mean, hey, look, Kirk might get hurt week 1. Who knows? And you just plug Penix in. But
Yeah, and, I mean, maybe Penix is the generational talent they're looking for. Maybe they saw that in him, and they said, we can't pass up on this guy because the quarterbacks in the next 4 years don't look great to us.
and you got to think, by the time Kirk's career is, or at least that contract is over, Penix's rookie deal will be over.
True.
So you got to pay him that kind of money when you don't, assuming he doesn't play much, you really don't entirely know what you have yet. So a bit of a head scratcher, but like you said, getting to sit behind a veteran for 4 years could definitely benefit. He's
And-
already the oldest quarterback in the draft.
Kirk Cousins is always top 12, borderline top 10, so it's not a bad guy to sit under.
Bears double down and get Caleb some more help with Romeo Dunze. And then the Vikings and Jets pick swap at 10 and 11. And Vikings go J.J. McCarthy.
I don't know if I like him in that system. I don't really know what their system's going to be either.
Throw it up to JJ.
Which, I mean, I think that's a great person to throw the football to. I think that'll make any rookie quarterback look good. I mean, it made Josh Dobbs look good. So
only for a couple weeks, though.
But what a great couple weeks that was.
It was. The Pastronaut, if you will.
Not quite as good as the Assistronaut, but a quality nickname.
High quality nickname in the Assistronaut, even though you hate it.
Broncos go Bo Nix at 12. Probably going to be your starter there.
Good pick. They needed a quarterback, and I like Bo Nix a lot.
Yeah, I think, honestly, he was probably my favorite of the guys drafted. Penix, super experienced. He's already like 25 years old. Most starts ever in college ball. I'd say high floor, maybe not the highest potential, but Sean Payton's a QB whisperer, right?
If it's not Sean McVay.
And the Raiders go Brock Bowers at 13. Again, for me, unexpected.
I'm glad he didn't go to Cincy, because he could have been a problem there. But I'm curious to see if they do the dual tight end, Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. I think that'd be fun to see. But I don't know. Las Vegas is a shitstorm as it is.
As always. I think Brock will be a great player, but I think, especially after getting Mayer last year, they had other holes they could have filled first.
I will say, after the head coaching change, they did use Mayer quite a bit more. So maybe Antonio Pierce has an idea for what he wants to do, and he's going to do it.
The Gardner Minshew 2 tight end system. Outside of that, nothing really crazy in the middle of the first round.
Couple trade ups at the end.
Bengals get a Marius Mims, which I do like. Steven, your Steelers with a nice Washington O-line pick. I think he's going to be an excellent player for you guys.
We actually needed somebody for the offensive line.
Yep, now we're just waiting on a wide receiver.
Maybe Ayuk.
There's still other picks.
Yeah, as far as I know, the Niners are taking calls for Ayuk and Debo.
And I've heard New England and Pittsburgh, the front runners for at least one of those guys.
I've heard they were one of the front runners for, I want to say, Ayuk. So that would be.
Hey, maybe you guys trade for T. Higgins.
I don't think the Bengals would trade in division.
I think people don't.
We can't afford T. Higgins.
I think that matters way less than people think.
For most any other team, yes, but the Bengals are historically against that.
I think if the price is right, he's just going to walk anyways.
Get something out of him while you can.
I think that's kind of where they're at with T. Higgins. It's not like he's under contract for 2 years like Trey Hendrickson where they can hold on to him.
I guess pivoting away from draft talk, how do you feel about your quarterback room right now?
Right now, it's exciting for the simple fact of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I can't say I don't see us doing all that well because we definitely shouldn't have done well at all the past few years in general.
Typical Pittsburgh.
But I would say I have confidence, especially, let Russell start. That's a given. And then let Justin get the veteran experience watch or whatever you would call it.
I think he's a great guy to learn from.
Because I feel like out of all the quarterbacks, Russell Wilson's probably, I would say, one of the best ones to watch besides Aaron Rodgers to learn after and learn football IQ, field general IQ, all that. I feel like after a few years, Fields could be one of the best quarterbacks for Pittsburgh.
And should still get on the field some this year.
They have ran funky Wildcat stuff in the past with Mike Vick.
Do some Wildcat with Justin Fields.
I mean, like they did with Vick. I think RG3, right?
For a brief stint, yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I don't even remember RG3 being in Pittsburgh.
It's for half a season, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't long, but they did some Wildcat stuff with him. They did some Wildcat stuff with Vick. I mean, it doesn't hurt. And honestly, Justin Fields is talented as it is. His decision-making is a little hectic at times.
But hopefully with better coaching here in Pittsburgh, which he had no support in Chicago.
Arthur Smith. Yeah, big time.
Well, hopefully he's not involved
coach,
directly with
offensive
Arthur Smith.
Coaching, offensive prowess in Arthur Smith there.
But they wouldn't have brought him in right now without having some kind of plan besides just sitting behind Russ for 2 years or so.
Arthur Smith, dude, that's the plan. He's going to turn him around. No, I said Arthur Smith's just going to be another fall guy for Tomlin.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think as soon as that hire was made, yeah.
Yeah. Because Tomlin hasn't figured out offense without Big Ben. He hasn't.
But you got to think, though, the entire time Tomlin was coach, all he had was Big Ben.
Correct.
So you gotta like realize there's never gonna be another Big Ben.
I mean, there could be.
Who?
If there's anybody that's repeatable, it's Big Ben. You just have to get a giant.
I would say Josh Allen's probably the closest one.
Physically,
yes, but play style completely
different.
Opposite.
I mean, yeah, that's a
But
given,
you just need a big, giant guy that can brush off sackers and to throw 15 yards. That's Big Ben.
little check downs here and there. But
At least towards the end.
in his later years. Also, a great wideout core would help, which, again, you guys really don't have right now.
Yeah. I mean, Mason Rudolph's your next Big Ben. Honestly.
Again,
if you watch Mason Rudolph play, he is a spitting image of how Big Ben played.
I will say, watching him, how he played when he was starter, it was a whole new Mason Rudolph. I was
it's
like,
as
where
close
is this
as you can get to Big Ben without having Big Ben.
I was like, where is this Mason Rudolph been?
Been there the whole time.
This Mason Rudolph would have never gotten hit in the head with the helmet, though.
There's only so much you can do to stop Myles
I was
Garrett
gonna
from
say,
hitting the head with a
fair
helmet.
point.
That Mason Rudolph would absolutely still get hit in the head with a helmet.
Just for being a dweeb.
Yeah. But, I mean, they had to start Kenny Pickett. He's from Pittsburgh. He went to Pittsburgh College. Yes,
and they
did.
drafted him to be the starter.
There's a reason why Pittsburgh has always stayed away from drafting guys from Pittsburgh. It's because the owners will force them to start that guy no matter what. Nobody loves Pittsburgh anything than the owners of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
My thing is when he went to Philadelphia, he was talking about how cultures and all that. You can't get a better culture than Pittsburgh.
And maybe that's kind of fallen apart the past couple years.
Dynasty wise, yes, but culture wise, no. That the same hard nosed blue collar football is still there in Pittsburgh. They just gotta find it. They gotta find it again. But once they find it again, Lord help us, because
maybe you need a Jim Harbaugh.
No.
He's all about that hard nosed blue collar football, man.
I don't care. I don't care. Being an Ohio State fan, I will never. You got
to pick your battles.
I will die on this hill.
You got to pick your battles. You would stop supporting Pittsburgh if they hired Jim Harbaugh.
No.
There you go.
I just want to be a fan.
You picked your battle. You absolutely would be a fan.
No, that's not how this works.
If you're scrolling through the guide and you see Pittsburgh football, you're clicking that every time. Even if Jim Harbaugh is the coach. You got to look at that mug on the side of the sidelines.
Those sweet khakis.
But they're 10-2. You're gonna be a fan.
I'm going to be like, damn you, Harbaugh, but...
You got me again.
Miami at 21 with a great pick. Chop Robinson, edge from Penn State. With all the injuries there last year when they had literally no defensive linemen left. It's a nice player there to fill that hole. Philly goes cornerback from Toledo. Not really worried about that. Lions trade up to 24. Take the cornerback from Alabama. Love that pick for them. Build up that secondary some more. So, of course, Dallas traded down to 29, and Tampa stole our guy that I love the most, Graham Barton, great offensive lineman from Duke. We did get Tyler Guyton, another tackle from Oklahoma. Worked out well last time, 6'7", 328. If not a linebacker, I definitely wanted the O-line help. So I'm very happy with that pick overall. Bills traded totally out of the first round. They'll pick first in round 2. And then the Chiefs went up to 28 and took Xavier Worthy from Texas. Could be Tyreek 2.0.
Could be. Yeah, that's a scary thought.
Definitely need to wide out help. This guy's maybe the quickest guy in the draft.
He definitely ran the fastest 40.
And I mean, who better to...
Of all time.
Was it all? Yeah, it was. Yeah. What better system to go to than under Andy Reid with Pat back there?
Go. That's the system.
Yeah.
Go. He'll get it to you. Just go. He can throw 75 yards on a scramble. Just run. I don't care what the route is. He'll see it, run.
He'll see you down there. He'll see the red, the white, whatever color they're wearing that day, and just hit.
He'll know which one to throw to.
The overall, nothing really crazy for the first round. We'll do a full recap next week once the full draft is completed.
Can't wait for those Browns recap for the Browns draft.
How'd you guys enjoy your first round pick there?
Yep. I think we don't pick till day 4.
You got to pick tomorrow, 54th overall. Assuming you don't trade out of it, who knows?
I was gonna say the one draft pick you didn't trade away.
Hey, it's all part of the plan.
What plan?
Hey, Coach of the Year, DPOY, Comeback Player of the Year. We're getting there. We'll rack up the awards. Screw a Super Bowl. What do we need those for? You know how many championships we got historically?
Spoken like a true Browns fan.
Plenty.
Scoreboard.
Everybody wants to talk about the past, but they're selective about their past.
Yeah.
Just be around longer, losers. What are we talking about?
We're not used to being, bottom tier teams, though.
Well, congratulations, Pittsburgh. You've been there for the last couple of years. Your record may not say it,
I was going to say, standings-wise, not so much, but...
realistically.
Yes.
So, overall expectations for this upcoming season? 9-8 again?
I would definitely say definitely another non-losing season for Tomlin, but playoffs, not so much. Probably another first-round exit if they make it. That's a big if they make it.
9-8 in the AFC is not going to cut it for much longer.
No.
I mean, I will say I'm really glad that the Browns sent Big Ben out packing in his retirement year. I do want to say that's one of the best moments of my life. Big Ben never beat the Browns in the playoffs, and we sent him home in his retirement match.
That's a little feather there in your cap.
Yeah. So,
one thing to be positive about.
What are we really talking about here?
Yeah, full dig it deeper, don't you?
Just a little bit, maybe a little twist at the end.
I felt it.
Yeah.
I felt it.
Full draft recap next week with our finishing grades, best picks. Again, for me, outside of the Penix pick, which I don't think even that bad in context, really no bad picks day one.
Yeah, I'll start my film research to pick Rookie of the Year again.
Caleb's got to be a huge front runner.
And get by far the most accurate statistical analysis of all time.
Can you top your prediction from last year?
I don't think so.
There's no way.
I don't think so.
That was an absolute peak.
It was pretty good. I don't know if I peaked yet. I think we're still getting there.
We're still on the upswing.
I think if I would have nailed his everything exactly, that would have been my peak.
I mean, you were close enough.
I was, but we ain't rounding here.
We want exact. Thing. Let's go to some MLB while Steven's still here.
NCAA rule changes real quick.
Forgot about that. Yeah, that is written down on the side.
Helmet communications has been approved, so no more sign stealing.
Of course, teams can still use signs if need be.
They will, but there'll probably be more of a
diversion.
Facade.
Yeah.
And then the 2-minute warnings have been added.
Really?
Which seems a little bit odd because we already have the NFL style now under 2 minutes where clock stops after first down.
I like it. I mean, I think it makes sense.
Should make a huge difference. Make the game more pro style-ish at least.
Get players more ready.
Yeah.
Especially with helmet communication. I think that's a big
that would be a big game changer.
Yeah. Because I know that's a thing that rookie quarterbacks struggle with a lot is helmet communication.
Adjusting to that.
So now you eliminate one of rookie quarterback struggles.
I almost feel like, high schools, like certain high schools.
Oh, you're top of the line.
Like academy, like max prep type schools.
Yeah.
Should do the same thing. So that way, because anybody that goes to a big name high schools
is going to a big name college likely. Especially if you're a skill position.
So, I mean, I feel like certain high schools should do the same thing because if you want to really get them ready, get them used to that voice in their helmet. So.
Yeah, the coach forgets to mute and he's like, shit. And the quarterback's like, oh.
Well, I think it mutes automatically at 10 seconds left,
does.
Right?
Yeah.
Which I assume is going to continue in college.
I would hope. Although it would be hilarious if they didn't have it. They had to mute it themselves.
Good. That'd be impossible to enforce.
This kid sucks.
That'd be hilarious.
What a dog shit throw. Get him out of here. MLB-wise, though, Redlegs are so much fun, man.
I can't complain.
Even with McClain and Friedel being out now, so much young talent.
I'm here for it. I'm really here for it.
Ellie killing it. Seemingly no signs of the sophomore slump. K's are still kind of up there, but he's getting a much better eye the past 2 weeks, which I'd love to see.
I was actually listening to the game while at work, and he was down like, I want to say 0-2 in like the very beginning of the game. Down 0-2, worked it to a full count, ended up getting a walk, I believe. He wouldn't have done that last year.
No. He's definitely adjusted to that breaking ball, laying off those.
I think what really helped a lot was working with Pete. Working with the hit king definitely helped out a lot.
And I was worried that losing Votto would kind of take the opposite effect, losing that hitting coach. But so far, all the guys have been pretty consistent.
Yeah, I'll get you a Blue Jays City Connect of Joey Votto to replace your Reds one.
Once he gets up there.
A real accurate representation
I'd
of his
rep
career.
it for sure. I'd definitely rep it.
I just want you to have an accurate representation of his career, that's all.
I did realize, I told my buddy at the game, it's like, this is the first time I can remember going to a Reds game and Votto's not on the field.
On the field or in the dugout or just
there, period.
Somewhere.
It's going to be so weird going to a Reds game and not hearing number 19, Joey Votto, and it's not going to feel the same.
Yeah, I still hope for a wild card, maybe a division win, but the future's bright.
Great
young pitching staff.
I don't know about
when you stand up and bang a whole beer when Ellie goes up to bat. I don't think you're going to remember Joey Votto for much too longer.
I asked my buddy yesterday, is it sacrilegious if Ellie's already on pace to being my new favorite player of all time? Because I didn't think Votto could be surpassed, but God, how could Ellie is a video game character. When you create your player on the show, you make Ellie De La Cruz.
I would have to say Joey Votto is the type of person where you want him as a franchise player.
Of course, and he stuck through so many bad years in Cincy.
But
pretty much every just bad year.
He's like a role model. He's Cincinnati's Derek Jeter.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Derek.
Overrated as hell?
Okay, easy. Joey Votto, underrated.
I'll let you slide with the Kurt Angle slander. But
yeah, don't shit talk Joey Votto. Come on now.
We don't tolerate that slander.
Because he says Derek Jeter's overrated, so it's funny you made that analogy.
Fact, yes, but career-wise and filling that role model spot, great comparison for sure.
But excitement-wise, everybody wants to go to the ballpark to see Ellie.
Even it was kind of a small crowd.
Debut last year was, we have to go back to the ballpark, guys.
And we said every time you go out there, you might see something you've never seen before.
Yeah, a guy running the bases in 12 seconds.
Unheard of. It's what he can do on the field is second to none.
Call me crazy. Excitement level Ken Griffey Jr.
Prime Griffey. But
Mariners Griffey.
Yeah, Griffey stole some bags, but not like Ellie.
Well, I'm saying just the level of excitement brought to the Cincinnati Reds ballpark.
Ellie's already on pace to steal like 50, 60 bags this year.
He's on pace to hit like 54 bombs and steal like 90 bags. First player in like 100 years to have 5 homers and 10 steals in the team's first like 15 games.
MVP season.
And again, most importantly, just the eye at the plate was the biggest thing I want to see improve, and he's done that so far.
He's done a great job so far.
If the Reds win, they pull it out, they get to maybe a wild card, he could probably win MVP. Being the best guy on a bad team
in the future for sure,
you're likely not going to be MVP, but if they can pull it together this year and make the playoffs,
you can't even use the whole good player on a bad team because Joey Votto won multiple.
When we were good, we were playoff teams there in 2010 and 2012.
That is valid.
They'll never give it to the best guy on a bad team.
Baseball is the one sport you could do that more.
You could, but it still hardly happens.
Trout run 4 when they didn't make the playoffs.
Well, you're hitting 175 home runs a year.
And Mike Trout.
And you're the only person selling tickets to that entire fan base.
The perfect segue. Mike Trout back to MVP form, leading the league in homers right now. Completely cut down on the K rate and the swinging at bad pitches rate, which is great to see. And then Shohei in LA, legit the best hitter in baseball right now. Even shaking off the gambling scandal thing that happened to get through that, and it doesn't affect his game at all. I believe the man is innocent.
Or
just doesn't care.
He just doesn't care.
But he's killing it. My MVP pick, Mookie Betts, still killing it. Yamamoto had another great start today. I think 6 shutout innings.
Adjusted pretty nicely after
getting roughed up in that first start.
Yeah.
The Orioles, my World Series pick, continue to bring up young talent. Colton Cowser, I think he's already got 7 bombs. Just got brought up this year. Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman both MVP candidates.
I'm a huge fan of Adley.
Dude, to see a switch-hitting catcher that
Yeah,
can
he's a
rake
beast.
and one of the best defensive catchers in the game.
He's hands down one of my favorite catchers.
Absolutely. And I feel like they're like the Texans or Lions right now, where if you had to bail to find a new team, you definitely go Baltimore.
Yeah, but liking a Baltimore team just
Feels wrong.
It would feel where you guys are at NFL-wise.
If you're a fan of
it'd be
any
tough.
other sport, like even as a Cowboys fan, just being a Ravens fan all of a sudden, this is weird. Like
Definitely odd.
There's nothing in Baltimore besides those two stadiums.
Yeah.
like it's not like you're ever going to go to Baltimore. Nobody ever vacations to Baltimore.
I have been to Baltimore twice. Beautiful ballpark.
Well, you're one of many, one of few.
One of few, you should say. Then Paul Skeens, who of course is a number 1 first draft pick and boyfriend of the great Livy Dunn. So far in his AAA stint for the Pittsburgh Pirates, 5 games, an 0.53 ERA, 17 innings, 34 strikeouts. Call the man up.
Yeah, I mean the Pirates need all the help they can get.
After a hot start, they definitely cooled off yet again. But this guy is going to be, barring Tommy John, which seems to hit everybody, very good for a long, long time.
Tell you what, another guy I like a lot, O'Neal Cruz.
Same thing with Ellie. Like,
Yeah,
if you create your ideal
he's a
player,
freak, man.
yeah, 6'5" shortstop with power and speed.
And you're right, same thing as Ellie. Just another thing where we're going to waste this guy's entire young career.
Nah, I feel much more optimistic about Cincy right now. Future's bright, my friend.
I would be very with whatever Cincinnati does this year. I'm satisfied with, considering the fact that we're all young.
Oh, yeah.
Started the year off banged up, all to hell.
Yeah, these guys are going to look great in Mariners outfits next year.
You know what?
Stop it.
2 years ago, I would have said the same thing, but there's no way. I think we follow the Brave situation and pay these guys young.
I hope so.
Sign Ellie up now. We'll spend money when the team's there. And if we didn't lock Ellie up, the fan base would completely turn against the
A's
Red
We're
Sox.
situation.
already a
Yeah.
small market team.
Yeah.
But let them, really pay them like a small market team and let the MLB pay them with incentives. They'll cash out.
Yeah, we'll lock up Ellie hopefully by the end of this year. Because he hasn't really, he's only played, 80, 90 games. Get him now on if you go even 12 years, like $300 million. That's
I
still
heard
under $30 million. That's an absolute steal.
I heard a stat the other day. The entire time Ellie was in the minors, didn't even face 1,500 at bats.
Yeah. He skyrocketed very quickly.
He had hands down probably the fastest rise to the MLB.
The kid's still 21 years old.
He's still young. It's
Younger than all three of us sitting in these chairs.
And
It's
already
crazy.
the face of the team
and we're talking
with all the
about
pressure in the world. And he's killing it.
Yeah, it's not like we're talking about an NBA player here.
Yeah.
This is baseball. Guys don't start till they're 30.
30's pushing it. But yes, usually much more development.
26, 27 is probably about the average call-up age. To do it, I think the youngest person to do it was Bryce Harper at 19.
Probably.
Same thing. He skyrocketed through the minors.
But Bryce Harper's hitting, fielding, just in general baseball skills is aging like fine wine.
Oh, yeah. Moving to first base. Hopefully he stays healthy going forward. But
I think he stays healthy more at first base.
absolutely. And stop playing as reckless as he gets older.
It's a lot easier to stay healthy at first base. It's a little more exhausting on your legs, probably. Like as far as stretching and stuff, like risk of pulling a hammy. You can really get into it, dude. Vladdy Guerrero does the splits every game.
Yeah, but he trains for that,
But
clearly.
he also has
Yeah,
to
his
because
job.
Bo Bichette's out here trying to be Derek Jeter and making 17 errors a game. And barehanding balls that are easily gloved and thrown and doing backflip throws. And
Everybody wants to highlight play.
Yeah, it looks cool when it works.
it does, but it doesn't work 90% of the time.
And I think we might finally be seeing the...
If you were wondering what my notes on the Blue Jays are this season, there they are.
I'm starting to wonder if the more we see of Vlad, maybe that one great year was kind of a fluke.
Let's pump the brakes there, buddy.
We've got 3 years after that. He's been an average hitter.
I wouldn't say average.
For his position and what he did the
Still
year
pretty
before.
good. Still pretty good. Definitely a good defender as well. Great defender, if you will.
Gold Glover last year.
So maybe he just focused a little bit more on defense. Maybe that was what everybody was saying was bad.
Pivot the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
But to be fair, the entire Blue Jays as a whole are hitting like shit this year anyways, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad luck. Maybe I should get rid of my Blue Jays stuff now. Swing on another team.
But still 500 in a very tough division. But I think this might finally be the downfall of the Astros dynasty, like the Warriors we saw this year.
Thank God.
7-19. Really no bright spot right now. Jose Abreu is legit the worst hitter in baseball by a significant margin.
I don't know. Did you ever seen Javi Baez in that?
He's in that
Have
conversation.
you seen the White Sox?
Well,
the entire lineup.
I got them 3-22.
Javi Baez, though. I mean, I could go pitch to him, and he would swing at everything.
He would make me look like a Cy Young pitcher.
He makes everybody look like a Cy Young pitcher.
I
It's
think
really impressive.
We could all throw left-handed and strike him out on 3 pitches.
I'm left-handed, so.
Okay, we could all throw opposite-handed and strike him out on 3 pitches. Talk about highway robbery from that contract.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
But yet there's still the thought in the back of my mind, Stros could also still be like the Chiefs, where don't count them out until they actually lose in the postseason.
Also true.
They had the White Sox just being absolutely abysmal. Somehow worse than the A's, who already have 10 wins.
And don't even really have, like, they're not even, they're a Las Vegas team.
Yeah, they're gonna be in Sacramento for 3 years.
They'll be in Sacramento, and yeah, they have no fans anymore, that's for sure. I'm sure the ballpark's empty, unless opposing teams travel really well.
Doubtful. Nobody wants to go to Oakland.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, you mentioned Baltimore. I think Oakland's even lower on that.
Yeah,
totem
but
pole.
again, nothing's bringing you there either.
Exactly.
So, because nobody wants to see the A's either.
And last but not least for me, the Cleveland Guardians. Sneaky 18-7 start.
On fire.
Getting it done with offense, pitching, defense across the board.
13-0 when leading after the fourth.
Incredibly underrated. Always under the radar because they're in Cleveland, not a big market
Honestly,
team.
I should have picked the Guardians. But
Yeah, I regret that too. As far as my division pick, at least. Not maybe a new team, but
I made my team. Because I'd always been like, oh,
Cleveland.
I'm Cleveland.
Cavs,
everything.
Browns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but started to branch out a little bit.
And you picked a great team at the time. And it's still, I think the future's bright. I wouldn't be too worried yet. That's all I got baseball-wise. Want to pivot to NBA or let Steven get out of here?
It's your call, me.
I'll stick around and listen to you guys.
I was going to say, you're good to go for probably another 30 minutes, if
If that,
20
yeah.
minutes maybe.
We have no UFC talk to speak of. So NBA, and that's pretty much it.
NBA is going to be quick, too. Outside of, we just really have playoff talk and award talk.
Yeah, it's about it. Break down each series so far. But, 3 awards given out. Tyrese Maxey, most improved. Which
No surprise there.
you
Should
don't
be Kobe
agree with?
White.
Yeah.
He went from he's up 10 points per game, first of all. Second of all, he went from being a very average basketball player to next year will be an all-star consideration if he keeps at this pace. Wasn't all-star consideration this year, but the all-star teams are just loaded. And he's not known. I think that helps Tyrese Maxey's case a little bit. Got some traction in the playoffs last year and towards the end of last year, but I think it should be Kobe White. He's the most deserving, in my opinion.
Who was your pick preseason?
Jamal Murray, who he improved, but not anything spectacular. Not what I thought he was going to improve.
Yeah, I had Shaden Sharp. Blazers were a dumpster fire. Didn't really follow him a whole lot.
Don't think I've heard the Trailblazers mentioned on ESPN or anything all year.
No.
Besides DeAndre Ayton sitting out for cold weather or something like that.
Like even the bad teams got coverage because Spurs had Wemby. Pistons were historically bad.
Yeah.
Outside of the Blazers and Hornets, probably the 2 teams that got talked about the least.
And even Brandon Miller got talked about quite a bit.
At least, yeah.
LeVar Ball's back in the media, so LaMelo's getting talked about again.
Finally. And then we had 6-man, Naj Reid.
I mean,
I'm cool with that.
The most deserving.
Yeah,
My
for
pick
sure.
was Rui Hachimura. I don't even think he plays basketball anymore. So.
I had Emmanuel Quickly, who of course was traded.
And a starter.
Was a starter, so that kind of ruined that pick. And then clutch player we didn't pick, but it was Steph Curry.
Should have been DeMar DeRozan.
Numbers are very close.
DeMar DeRozan led the Bulls to a 27-13 record in clutch time. To me, that's the most deserving, but it's going to be Steph until he retires.
Yeah, with the star power, he did shoot 70% true shooting in clutch situations. Obviously, he was great, but with the star power factor and the Bulls kind of being in that same territory of not being talked about.
All of their wins coming from clutch time by DeMar DeRozan.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
They'll probably do rookies tomorrow. That'll be the next one up.
I think so. I still got Chet. I'm still holding out some hope.
Good luck.
But I think Wemby's locked it up. I think Wemby just got a lot more media coverage, even though this Thunder are the most not talked about 1 seed of all time.
It's still so weird,
and
man,
they're
honestly.
just absolutely obliterating my finals chances of calling the Suns versus the Celtics.
Aren't they up like 3-0 now?
Yeah, they won tonight, 3-0.
Yeah, they're obliterating my chances of the Suns going to the finals.
I picked a fellow named Scoot Henderson for Rookie of the Year.
Who?
Exactly. Did finish the year, his last 15 games, pretty solid. But before that, literally the least efficient player in basketball, even factoring in Jordan Poole.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
terrible.
about Kyle Kuzma? Is he not factored in?
He was bottom 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
DPOY, I had Bam Adebayo.
I picked Drew Holiday. It's Rudy Gobert for sure. Locked
It'll
in.
be his 4th time winning.
Yes.
And well-deserved. I mean, come on. But he was the obvious pick going into the year. Trying to go off the wall.
MVP, I picked Tatum. That's not happening.
I had Giannis.
Giannis, that's not happening. The one time you don't pick Luka is the one time he's
At least
really, really close.
any other season would be a lock, but going up against Jokic, and I think Shea's also, we talked
In
about
my
before,
opinion, it should be Shy.
super deserving.
Or Shea, or however he says his name.
Get to take the youngest team in basketball to a 1 seed in a brutal conference.
And you're looking at sweeping your first playoff. I mean, Thunder could be in the championship, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Not at all.
And again, that's kind of where the only piece they gained was Chet Holmgren. Just saying, rookie of the year. Probably he's in the playoffs. He's probably going to be in the conference finals. I don't know. Wemby got 5 wins, give or take.
Yeah, give or take. Best record, I had Phoenix. Of course, did not work out.
I had the Celtics. That locked in.
Nailed in.
That locked in like 2 months ago.
Yeah, easily. And then Western Conference, I had the Nuggets over the Warriors. In the East, Bucks over the Cavs.
I had the Suns over the Lakers.
Who?
Which neither of those is going to happen. But I have the Celtics over the Bucks. And the Celtics might not even make it at this rate.
After
Heat
the
tied it back up tonight.
classic playoff Heat.
So, I don't know.
And then bold prediction, nailed it. Kawhi Leonard did play 65 games.
I had Damian Lillard getting first team. If Shea doesn't win MVP, I think that's still a possibility because of the uptick Damian Lillard had since the All-Star break and how he's been performing in the playoffs. I know they say it's a regular season award, but they always factor in the playoffs, especially with the first team All-Pros. And I had Shea being second team. But if those are flipped, I'd still be happy.
Yeah, still close enough. Yeah. Series-wise, Magic stole a game tonight by 38 points.
Yeah.
Cavs still up 2-1 in that series. In a physical, not great offensive series so far.
Yeah, I'm definitely don't see a conference finals coming out of this.
No, neither team should
unless they really
compete
straighten
like
it
that.
out.
I think you had Cavs in 7.
Yeah.
You guys had Cavs in 6. Philly got a win tonight after 50 from Embiid. Still down 1-2, but at home. Knicks still take that, I think. I'm not really too worried there.
It should.
And then Denver up 8 with 20 seconds to go over the Lakers. We called a sweep on that across the board. Lakers blew a 20-point lead in game 1.
Yeah.
Still cannot beat Denver. I think it's 11 straight, including post and regular season. Denver still, I think, is a clear favorite, at least in the West. Pretty unstoppable there. OKC up 2-0, and probably a sweep there too. With Pelicans without Zion, especially.
Yeah.
Tall order. And then, yeah, like you mentioned, the Heat steal a game in Boston. 1-1.
They got to figure that out. Boston needs to straighten it up, tighten it up, and finish out this series.
The Heat have 4 games against the Celtics in the playoffs, shooting over 50% from 3. The rest of the league ever has 1.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Spoelstra and that team against Boston, but they just take it to a different level.
Well, you know what happens. Spoelstra, he's a postseason guy.
Without Jimmy Butler in that game either.
Yeah, he's a postseason guy.
Pacers Bucks 1-1 without Giannis still, maybe out for the whole series now. I know he did some very light work, but still not really moving laterally, not jumping yet. With no Giannis, Dame can only do so much by himself. Middleton's banged up now, might not play game 3. And you got to factor in there's still Doc Rivers on the sideline.
It is indeed Doc Rivers.
The one that kind of shocked me here is I picked Phoenix to win, but Minnesota up 2-0.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I like
dog.
Minnesota.
Yeah, if they get by Phoenix, they definitely prove me wrong. Because I wanted to see them win at least a series. Even game 2 without, Towns put up 12, Ant put up 15. But such a deep lineup with Jaden, Gobert put up 18.
That's exactly what
classic
Ant
Mike
said.
Conley.
Ant said, he got asked, they have Kevin Durant. He said, we have Jaden McDaniels. The next game, Jaden McDaniels put up his 23 or 27 points.
I would almost say Anthony Edwards is probably one of my favorite players in the whole league.
Yeah, he's an absolute dog.
You can quote me on this. Anthony Edwards is Kobe Bryant.
It's cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. For me, being not probably the most casual watcher ever, just barely keeping up with it.
Casual player too.
I wouldn't even say that. I was mediocre at best. Okay.
You ate up minutes.
I ate a lot of minutes on the bench, but
we was eating.
It
may not have been minutes, but we was eating.
Moral support. Glue guy.
Go team.
Definitely a glue guy.
But Anthony Edwards probably. Every highlight I see of this dude, just wow. Yeah. That's all I can say is wow.
Yeah, lockdown defender. Can score pretty much any way he wants to.
Can dunk on you any way possible.
And has that mentality like Kobe.
What Ja Morant thinks he is Anthony Edwards.
Absolutely.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
And then my most anticipated series, of course, Mavs Clippers. Kawhi came back in game 2. Dallas won it. Close one. Battle throughout. But Luka and Kyrie in the fourth quarter. Can you ask for 2 better closers?
No.
Luka didn't even shoot great, but he doesn't stop. And he hits the most clutch ones when it matters the most. And he played incredible defense. He gets shit on so much for taking a lot of plays off.
One of the highest graded defensive guards in the league every year.
At fourth quarter, there was one play where they doubled to help Luka. Led to an open 3. He's like, stop, don't double, I got it. And he locked down. I think they were 2 for 19 on plays where Luka was the primary defender. Locked down Kawhi and Paul George. And Jimmy Harden. That's your MVP.
I think I could lock down Jimmy Harden right now.
Current Jimmy Harden, yeah.
It's not Rocket. It's not Jordan Poole we're talking about here.
See, I still think the Mavs take that.
Even then, all you got to do is choke him out.
Exactly.
Let's see. By the time this episode comes out, you'll have Bucks Pacers game 3, Clippers Mavs game 3, and then Minnesota and Phoenix game 3. The way it's feeling right now, I think Minnesota sweeps. The Suns matters.
They just need to turn it around for me because I have them in the finals.
The Suns have the worst body language and no fight. Once they're down,
they're very hard to keep morale up.
And I think losing Chris Paul hurt way more than they thought. They have no point guard. It's just 3 guys playing iso ball. They have no flow to the offense.
Yeah.
Even with 3 elite scorers, it just doesn't work. Especially against a super physical, deep team like Minnesota.
Yeah.
If you had to remake your picks right now for the finals, both conference and then
Minnesota versus OKC in the conference.
I like that a lot.
And then I still am going to say Boston. And I'm still going to say Boston and Milwaukee. I don't even know if that's possible, but
yeah, based on seeding, who knows? For me, it's if they play Denver, and I think Minnesota's their best matchup, and I think they'll face off in the finals.
I think Minnesota is a good matchup, but I think OKC can run with Denver all day long.
I'd love to see either one, honestly. I'd love to see OKC go all the way.
I would love to see, honestly, either of those teams go all the way because Karl Anthony Towns, still a Kentucky guy. The bottom of my heart got to root for him a little bit.
But there's really no bad matchup in the West.
No.
I'd be cool seeing any of these teams.
I'm not cool with seeing the Suns versus the Lakers.
Well, no, thankfully, I think you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, any of the good teams, yeah.
East, got to still be Boston. And then, I don't know. I want to go Knicks.
New York would burn down if the Knicks made it to the championship.
I took the Cavs preseason. I don't know if they get the job done. If they even get by.
If they don't get by the Magic,
there's a problem there.
We're going to start taking down some of this Cavalier stuff. It's not like we're talking about Shaq or Dwight's Magic. We're talking about Paolo Banchero's Magic.
And Franz Wagner.
Yeah, 40-point loss.
Still want to see. Hopefully Giannis comes back and they do make that run. I think them and Boston in the finals would be a great matchup with all its star power. But I'm going to lock in Celtics, Knicks for the East. And then it's tough not to go with Celtics Nuggets in the finals.
Celtics Nuggets finals is interesting. I don't think we see a Nuggets repeat or even in the championship. I think one of these younger teams, whether it's Minnesota or Oklahoma City, however they get there, I think one of those two teams will be in the finals.
Love to see it. I think we've had 8 years now of a different champion.
I think whoever takes down Denver wins the championship.
I don't hate that.
I definitely would not disagree. Yeah. I think it's very strong. That's pretty much, I think, all we got for pretty much the entire show here. Besides maybe some quick NHL playoff, which is, again, very exciting come Stanley Cup time.
Next year, I'm definitely watching more hockey, I think.
Your Leafs stole a game from Boston.
Finally.
Oilers lost in OT
Austin
last
Matthews
night.
Still not looking good, though.
The only thing that worries me about Edmonton is I don't think they have enough defense, and Skinner's good enough between the posts. They give up 4 goals in game 1 and 5 in game 2. They can score with anybody, man. But I mean, come playoff time, you got to be able to get stops.
That's a lot of goals. Yeah, that goalie percentages, that save percentage is not great.
Rough.
And that's the problem with playing Boston, man. You can't have high efficient offense against Boston. It's just not fair.
Whatever game plan you have against Boston, it gets completely shut down.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Back in the day, you could say the same thing about Chicago.
Yeah, they had a great run there. 8-seed Knights up 2-0 on the 1-seed Stars. Kind of unexpected there.
God, dude, if Vegas somehow pulls it out of their ass again. If that happens again, I think they should disband the team and have to get it through natural attrition. Because building an all-star team because you decided you wanted a team is bullshit if you keep winning championships.
Yeah, shortcut to some titles.
Hockey's version of Golden State.
Yeah.
And then tonight, Florida went up 3-0 over Tampa, and Carolina up 3-0 over the Islanders.
What's the Preds game?
Preds, I believe, lost on Tuesday.
I know they lost. I didn't know if they played again or not.
No, actually, they won 4-1. So I think they play Friday night, and they won 1 series. Colorado, Winnipeg 1-1. Rangers up 2-0 over the Caps.
I'll tell you what, Colorado and Winnipeg game 1 was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
It was like 20 goals or almost 20 goals, something like that. It was nuts.
Doesn't Florida have Columbus's old goalie?
Yeah, Sergei Bobrovsky, who had an incredible save last night.
I saw that, and that was insane. Typical Sergei.
Terribly out of position, but rebounded well and made an incredible, no-look behind-the-back save.
Save of the year, probably save of the playoffs.
Especially in those circumstances.
Yeah.
Got to be. Blue Jacket legend.
If only the Blue Jackets were legends.
In due time.
I'm trying to go see the Blue Jackets when they go to the Ohio Stadium.
I'm trying to go see
they
the
got
Blue
that this year,
Jackets when
right?
they play
Stadium
somebody
series.
entertaining.
I just want to see a game, period. I've been mentioning it for years, just have not gone yet.
Honestly, I'd like to go to a Cyclones game.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Or match or whatever.
I've been to a Blue Jackets game against Calgary. It was pretty cool. Didn't see a fight, which was a little disappointing because I was kind of there just for the fight.
They kind of faded out of that, but I think they're slowly getting back into it, especially with Rempe.
Yeah, when you got guys like Matt Rempe, who has your entire role on the team. Let's knock out our closing segments with a stick pick first
Steven, why don't you go ahead and pull a band?
Go ahead and reach in
out of
here.
The mystical
of
bucket
the
of
overflowing bucket. And pull one out of there.
The Mortal Coil.
By CAO. I think it's been mentioned before. Incredible stick. Solid brand. I want to say it goes for $12, $13. But a great smoke. Definitely keep your eyes peeled for that next time you hit up any smoke shop. Close but no cigar. Didn't lock one in. I almost want to go with the Lakers for finally beating Denver, but blowing that 20-point lead in the fourth quarter. And then bums, I've got 3 baseball and 1 kind of off the wall. First umpire yet again, but not Angel Hernandez.
Oh, that's who my pick was going to be.
Hunter Wendelstedt threw out Aaron Boone when Booney didn't even say anything. It was a fan.
Yeah, the fan heckled him, and he was like, "You know what? You're out of here." I didn't even say nothing.
It was like 8 pitches into the game, and there was a check swing that hit the guy. The call itself really didn't matter, but Booney was, of course, upset, and told him, "Hey, settle down. I don't want to hear anything else." And the camera's on Booney the whole time. Doesn't say anything.
Not a word.
And some fan behind him goes, "Hey, get with the home plate." And immediately he's like, "You're out of here. I don't care who said it."
I don't care if you didn't say it. You're out of here.
And he doubled down post game like, "Well, it sounded like it was from the dugout, and I made it clear that I don't want to hear anything else." It's like, come on, dude. The entire thing's on film.
If you're an umpire, you can clearly hear the difference between dugout noises and crowd noises.
Yeah, and you know what Booney sounds like.
Everybody does.
Yeah, you guys are a first name basis.
Yeah, every game he's in your face yelling at you.
Was Booney going to get thrown out that game?
Probably.
But just not right there.
It did deserve it there.
Not that soon.
Not right there.
Probably third, fourth inning, probably. But not right
Is
there.
he going to get thrown out? Yes. You're going to get the joy of throwing him out. Just you got to be patient.
Wait till he actually deserves it. Yeah. So Hunter Wendelstedt breaking the Angel Hernandez streak of terrible umpiring for Bum of the Week. Jackson Holliday, the number 1 prospect in all of baseball for the Orioles. Very rough start to his career. Through 10 games, was hitting like .039. I think he had 2 hits and like 40 at-bats.
Sounds like Kiermaier.
Little rough. I would say send it back down.
He needs it. He's still way
Give him another month or 2 down in AAA.
Give him about 5 or 6 more years.
He's got plenty of time.
They thought they had the old Matt Holliday and thought,
not quite.
No, you're not him, pal. You're not him.
Especially just the mental side. Like, it's got to be so demoralizing to finally get that call up and you just can't hit anything.
Yeah, and that's assuming he can be sent down with a good mentality, too.
You would hope so. Then, of course, you got the White Sox, just for being absolute dog shit. The worst offense in like 120 years. Anybody that can be worse than the A's is definitely deserving of Bum of the Week. And last but not least, shout out to our good friend TB. Liverpool lost their last game to Everton, who's like a bottom 3 team, which means they're out of contention for the Premier League Championship. And I felt that was definitely worth mentioning. Go ahead and wrap up shop here, Cam.
Well, we always say, SMS to the moon.